and a smorgasbord, a full buffet of victory chicken, because for the first time in a long time, we got a lot of victories to be able to celebrate in the state. Hey, how about all of those state champion football teams that won on Thursday and Friday?
How about all of them? How about all the divisions? Yeah.
A sweep of the number 1 ranked Michigan State Spartans in men's hockey. Come on, Wisconsin Badgers.
Right,
let's go 7th ranked Badgers. Let's go Mike Hastings squad.
Ice. Let's go on the ice.
A not 1, not 2, but 3-score victory against Brett Bielema and the Illinois Fighting Illini now.
Woo!
And how about a not amazing. 1, not 2, but 3-score victory against the Minnesota Vikings, baby. Come on now. I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that I love. I talked about this last night on Packers OT, Armen. I can't stress how much I love being able to do this job.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
It is it's really the only thing I ever thought that I wanted to do. And then once I realized that you actually could, I kind of laughed and thought they pay people to do stuff like this. That's crazy. Love my wife and kids.
For sure.
2 little boys. They're awesome.
Amazing, man.
Mom and dad, they just came back from snowbirding last week. Got to see them. Thanksgiving, you just get really thankful. You think of all the things you love in this world.
Gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. I'm filled with it this time
There's
of year.
not much that's higher up on that list than watching the Green Bay Packers beat the ass of the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, it is incredible how warm that makes my heart. Watching not 1, not 2, but probably 5,000 or 6,000 Viking fans. Not a ton, but a decent amount last night, having to walk down the maybe 15-degree ramp as it winds back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and having to watch them sulk in their scoliosis as chants of Go Pack Go rain down.
That's good as it gets.
Lambeau Field. I mean, it was a beautiful, beautiful sight yesterday. You had Vikings reporters filming it as we were walking through our little catwalk to get back to Packers OT. You had on both sides, the ramps to our right and the concourse to our left, oozing through with Go Pack Go chants, and a couple of different. I saw one young man in a Jim Marshall jersey.
Okay.
That's when you know you've put in the years.
That's when you put in the effort.
That's when you know you put in the years.
Yeah.
Leaning up against a trash can.
Was he going the wrong way, or
thinking, why on earth did I do this? Why did I do this? I knew this wasn't going to be good. I've watched this guy play quarterback the last 3 weeks. I've watched him throw the ball over the head, at the feet, at a player sitting on the sideline who's actually inactive more times than I've seen him throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, who might be the best wide receiver in football. I mean, that was awesome yesterday.
Amazing.
There's a lot of different ways that a football game can look, and I 100% understand. Now, I will have a differing opinion on the strategy deployed during the game than some.
We've talked about that.
I understand, however, wanting to win that game 41-6.
So want to just drop the anvil on those Vikings.
Because it was there.
Do it, yeah.
And for Packers fans, you feel the pain and the anguish and the disdain of our neighbors from the West, and you want to rub some dirt in it. You want to be the guys in Step Brothers who walk up to Will Ferrell and say, "You're going to eat that white dog, or I'm going to make you. You're going to watch the rest of this game, and you're going to enjoy. You're going to watch Malik Willis play the entire fourth quarter and score 2 touchdowns."
Yeah.
But that's not how the Packers had to roll yesterday. The Packers got a game in 4 days. They realized maybe midway through the third quarter, like your last night in Las Vegas, that money becomes real money. Every one of those snaps became real snaps in the second half, and they were starting to compound and compile into the total you're going to have in 1 week. And Matt LaFleur said, "Let me take that foot off the accelerator, but before I do that, punch cruise control in, roll to a 3-score victory, and get ourselves ready to go for maybe the biggest game of the year." The biggest game of the year coming up Thursday against the Detroit Lions in the Motor City as you try to sweep the Kitties for the first time in seemingly forever.
Big game coming up, big moment, and you're right. And trying to release some of the pressure on the off shoulder of Jordan Love, who was playing with the sprained AC joint, which we learned yesterday before the game. That's nothing to mess with.
I think we knew that. I think all of us watching that
knew his shoulder was hurt.
Knew that shoulder had most likely popped. When you're watching the way he goes down, the way they rotated through.
When you hear that,
then walk right back in.
When you hear like a medical diagnosis, it just makes it more real. Sprained AC joint. You know what I mean? Like
Now you know why
contusion of the
last
shoulder.
week I was saying we can't be doing that.
I understand your point.
We cannot be putting
I
ourselves in
understand.
that situation
Yes.
because that was a clear and obvious either some thought collarbone. No, that shoulder's popping out. The way he's leaning in and the lack of leverage that he had into the hit, you just can't be making that mistake. Sorry, I apologize.
You're good. No, I think a lot of fans were scratching their heads a little bit at points in the second half, saying, "Why can't we, be a little more aggressive on offense?" And listen, granted, it's a small gripe to make in a game like that when you are absolutely imposing your will at home against your hated Minnesota rival Vikings, and absolutely imposing your will physically on them, right? Absolutely disheartening, dispiriting, dejecting, demoralizing. And I think you want to think we're going to do that on both sides of the ball because they were doing it on defense, obviously, Billy, yesterday. I mean, JJ McCarthy wanted to be anywhere but there yesterday. That's one of those where, you're on the Vikings offense and you're like, I just hope this check clears this week. I just hope this check clears.
Can't wait for the first
15.
15.
You're absolutely, dispiriting their entire offense. That's what we want. As Packer fans, right? When you're playing especially your rivals, but especially the Vikings, right? We want to not only beat them, we want to absolutely question their will to play the game of football. That's what you want to question Vikings fans' will to even put on purple again. You see our team and our fans doing the skull chant. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to witness. And it's a beautiful thing to witness that defense eat yesterday. The Vikings got, I think, 4 total yards of offense. But, I would say this, you have to look at the forest through the trees when it comes to the offense, right? You're looking for, like you said, Billy, a healthy unit, a unit as fresh as you can be. Thursday against the Lions, who had a hell of a time getting out of Dodge yesterday, having to escape.
Why can't we just dominate
in overtime?
Why can't we just dominate like the Detroit Lions?
Why can't we just dominate like and I thought about
wish
my guy.
we could just dominate.
I thought about my guy in Wasaki. What was it? Wally? I think his name was Wally. I'm going to find it because I texted you and Drew about it about a month ago. Wally and Wasaki, who called the Packers OT and was just opining with, negativity about why we can't just be like the Lions and dominate. I wish we could just dominate like the Vikings. I mean, like the Lions. So, Billy, I think maybe discretion, the better part of valor. I will say there were individual moments. It's a 17-6 game. It's 3rd and 3. I think you could pass on that down. I think you could safely pass on that down to help your team try and score a tutty and go up 3 scores. But all's well that ends well. Congrats to Emmanuel Wilson having the day of his life yesterday and taking the workload yesterday. And he would have had a lot better average if he didn't have to take those end runs and pound it in and really, so I think that's a good point to make. Thought Brooks was great. Thought Anthony Belton, your boy, did a nice job stepping in yesterday. Pretty interesting to see him in there, Billy. All in all, a wonderful day to be a Green Bay Packers fan, a wonderful day to be on the Green Bay Packers defense and coaching staff. And I don't think anyone's questioning that Micah Parsons situation anymore. I could be wrong. Congrats to Micah. 2 more sacks, 1 million more pressures. This guy is absolutely wrecking and dominating Darisaw, one of the highest paid tackles in the league, making him look like a little leaguer. Ragdoll. They finally stopped Mike on that last drive and they triple teamed him.
Yeah.
Triple teamed him.
Deploying that did work.
It was a beautiful thing to witness yesterday. And all in all, it's just a great day to be a Green Bay Packer fan. When you can get those purple people into your house and absolutely physically dominate them. And in a way, I think Packer fans, you're in the 4th quarter, almost felt boring to be able to dominate that well and kick the field goal and just take care of business. There's nothing better than that. And it felt great yesterday.
877-794-1973. First one in, Random Jim. Matt LaFleur just cannot step on the throat of an opposing team. And yes, I said throat.
The throat.
Now, and you bring up the exact case in point. I think you're at like the 14-yard line. You have the opportunity to get 2 first downs before you inevitably can score a touchdown and go up in the 3-score game. You absolutely can throw. That's why I'm not. I like and appreciate it. And this is where the emotion of a football game, I think, sometimes catches up to people.
Definitely.
And that can be a fair critique, I think, of Matt LaFleur. That sometimes the game gets very emotional for him. Now, you do want your coach to be very measured, very level-headed. I would prefer that you lean into the emotion of an emotional game if that's going to help the players.
Well, because the passion's good.
Because the passion's good.
Yeah.
We like that. That's where sometimes the come-ons, we get into the game. Come on, we got to get this crowd going. Come on, we got to get going here.
Which we haven't seen in a while.
We haven't seen that.
Yeah.
You start evolving. Start growing. Start learning different ways to influence the offense during those down periods, like becoming a meme sitting on the bench trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Right.
How are we going to figure out a way to score some points? But for LaFleur yesterday, and this is the super macho nerdy part of football, but I think there is a soul-snatching reason why the Packers did not throw on that 3rd and 3 from the 14 or whatever it was. Because of the imposing of will that they did for the last 8 plays. They ran the ball every single play on that series.
Every play. We're going to try and do this all the way down. That was the thing, right?
And Luddy doesn't want to look up at the camera on there because he played wide receiver. So wide receivers don't like this part of it. There is nothing more punishing and imposing than running the football right at somebody. That was a statement yesterday.
Takes away wills of people. The will. It takes away your will.
As much as the statement going up 3 scores by throwing a play action fade ball to Christian Watson in the corner of the end zone also would have been good. Again, I'm not arguing that. The possibility that you could have just handed the ball off to your undrafted Division II running back.
Let's hear it for Emmanuel Wilson.
Well,
absolutely out of the mud in this league.
You could hand the ball to your backup, former undrafted Division II running back, and that he was just going to wilt the clock away and pound you into submission. I think that was the emotion mentality part of it. Again, I can't say that it's the best decision, but from the we're going to run the football right at you, tell you exactly what we're going to do, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, granted, they did something about it. They stopped them on 3rd down. I get it. You kicked the field goal. The only thing that was going to beat you yesterday, the only thing that was going to beat the Green Bay Packers yesterday was the Packers.
Bad
was
turnover.
Their own back-breaking mistake.
Sure.
The ball bouncing off of the hands of Romeo Doubs, which we haven't seen that ever. We've never seen any of these receivers drop a pass.
No, it doesn't happen.
Ball bounces, clanks off the arms or the shoulder pads of insert. I don't want to throw another stray, but Dontavian Wick's shoulder here.
Right in the boobs right there. Almost. I mean, there was a little
Here
bit
goes Isaiah Rodgers streaking down the left sideline, and it's a 1-possession game.
You don't need a disaster. Yeah.
Because they go for 2 and it's 17-14. Like the only thing that was beating you yesterday was a killer mistake. So don't let yourself do it. Is that playing scared? Sure. But you don't have to play every game to make the final damnation of your coaching style and what your team and who your team is.
Sometimes you can
play the game you're in, win the game you're in,
get them on,
and rip the page off the calendar. And that's what they did yesterday. I think midway through the 3rd quarter again. And we're going to hear from Matt LaFleur because I thought he said it very well. It's like, I haven't run the same run play that many times in a row. I've never called the same run play so many times. But it was dominating, and they were churning out. The Vikings ran 15 plays in the second half.
Incredible, man.
They had as many turnovers as they had first downs offensively in the second half. More turnovers if you count my man. Actually, why don't we hear that first one? Luddy, can you cue me up in there really quickly?
You're good to go.
It's 6:14 in the morning.
You want me to fade Prince?
You know what? Why don't we let that purple rain?
Let Prince run.
Let Prince enjoy this purple rain. This courtesy of KFAN.
Run it, baby.
Because man, I think we might have to send an edible arrangement. We might have to send a Thanksgiving edible arrangement to my man, Miles Price. What's going on, PA?
Wheelan will let it fly from about his own 40. Miles Price heels on the 10. End-over-end production by Wheelan. Price is going to let it sail over his head. Nice bounce for Green Bay at the 6. Price ran in there and touched it. What are you doing? It's bouncing about at the 5.
It all depends on who it touched first.
Right, but why is Miles even by the ball?
I have no idea. I mean, the ball did take a weird bounce that way, but when you were going to let it hit the ground, you have to yell scatter, scatter, scatter,
scatter
to those guys that are defending.
Scatter.
Poison, whatever you want to call
Peter.
to get them out of the
Green
way.
Bay ball.
Are you kidding me
That's
with
ridiculous. I mean, this is so ridiculous. Seriously, after the special teams L on Devin Duvernay last game, and Price lets it fly over his head, and then for whatever the reason decides to run back by the ball.
On the field, as the punt was touched by the return team player.
and subsequently recovered by the kickers. First, whatever you want to call it, to get them out of the way. Are you kidding me?
That's ridiculous. I mean, this is so ridiculous.
I mean, the absolute scorn and contempt that he had in his voice for that. Nah, and to defend the kid a little bit, I mean, Zane did a nice job.
Thank you, Miles Price.
What are you doing back there? It's ridiculous.
Miles Price.
What is he even doing?
And thank you to the 7 different listeners that sent me that video last night on Twitter while driving back after Packers OT back home. That means, you know what, Armen? We're doing it right. That means we're doing something right. If you immediately see that video, hear it and go, you know who really needs to hear that? Billy and Armen. Because they're going to want to play the absolute hell out of that on a Victory Chicken Monday. We haven't even started.
Can't wait
to enjoy.
So much.
I've also queued up a little bit of the old ball coach. Brett Bielema was very interesting on Saturday. We're going to get into some of that.
What a day that was. What a day.
That was very sweet, Armen.
Well, where's this team been? This is what I'm talking about. This is the Wisconsin Badgers. That's the Wisconsin Badgers I know. I mean, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Where's this team been?
And we may have flipped this whole thing around.
We might have just.
I was reading Jim Polzine's comments. We're going to maybe talk to Jim Polzine this week one time. He always puts out, how you feeling after that game, Badgers fans? 113 comments. Oh, and I read all of them.
You got in the Armen trap.
4 negative.
Whoa.
4 negative.
How about that? Isn't it amazing?
113.
Isn't it amazing how things can change?
It's crazy what a victory over Brett Bielema does for you.
You never know. The next day is your day. Yeah, no.
I saw a lot of shirtless memes of Brett.
There were a lot of the shirtless Brett.
It felt great.
My dad also, bless my dad's heart. I can't think he's watching a whole lot of Illini football. Okay. He texted me in the middle of the third quarter. Damn, he wearing a 5X now? I said, yeah, and he lost 60 pounds during the offseason. Let him tell you.
Did he? Where?
He told the story. He started riding that Peloton.
Got a long way to go.
And not snacking after 7:30.
He's got a long way to go to be Corey Tinsley.
Yeah, he's got a ways to go.
You saw that picture, yeah.
Looking good with our boys.
No, that was for
Aaron
Brett.
Nagler, Corey Banke,
and Jen. That was for Jen as well.
Yeah, there were a lot of Jen memes too as well. 877-794-1973.
Karma.
3 score victories for the Badgers and Packers. What a beautiful Victory Chicken Monday to enjoy. At 877-794-1973. It's no BS on the game.
Much more raspberry beret. I think I love her. The rain sounds so cool when it hits the bottom roof.
Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game. The Packers beat the Vikings at Lambeau.
Bottom line is just finding a way to get a dub, and our guys did that.
And Love takes, handoff up the middle. It's Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Packers cash in and take a 16-6 lead.
Billy and Armen are basking in the glow of a border battle win all morning with you, right here on The Game.
The entire world watched.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And humanity saw that the sky was not the limit. Achievement, pass it on, from the foundation for a better life.
You are listening to The Game.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Eagles songs that you thumbed up. Number 3, Life in the Fast Lane.
He was too tired to make it. She was too tired to fight about it. Life in the fast lane surely make you lose your mind. Life in the fast lane. Life in the fast lane. Everything, all the time.
Number 2, Take It Easy.
Take it easy. Take it easy. Don't let the sound of your own wheels make you crazy. Come on, baby. Don't say maybe.
Number 1, Hotel California.
were voices down the corridor. I thought I heard them say, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely place.
Hear more from the Eagles and similar artists now. Search for the Eagles on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Did you know that every 65 seconds, someone in the U.S. is developing Alzheimer's disease and 1 in 3 seniors are dying of it or another dementia? University of Wisconsin-Madison researchers are trying to improve the lives of people affected with innovative treatments, early diagnosis, and comprehensive support for families and caregivers. Together, we can improve lives and build a future with Alzheimer's disease in Wisconsin and beyond. Visit goalsforacure.org.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top John Mellencamp songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Hurt So Good.
Hurt so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should, baby. Hurt so good.
Number 2, Small Town.
No, I cannot forget from where it is that I come from. I cannot forget the people who love me. Yeah, I can be myself here in this small town. And people let me be just what I want to be.
Number 1, Jack and Diane.
Oh yeah, life goes on long after the thrill of living is gone. Walk on.
Hear more from John Mellencamp and similar artists now. Search for John Mellencamp on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
You may not play for your favorite team, but you act like it. Whether you're at work or outside on the grill, you carry them with you. No, not with a jersey, but a mindset as you crack open that ice-cold beer. Cheesehead TV and Gathering Place Brewing bring you Carry the G, a delicious and easy drinking cream ale. But it's not just for tailgating, it's for everyday life.
Well, we carry the G wherever we may be, so creamy and cold from the land of the green and gold.
Available throughout Wisconsin. 21 plus. Drink responsibly.
Message marked urgent.
We're here for you now on the NicoleLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
Price back deep to receive this punt from Daniel Whelan. High snap. He moves forward under no pressure, gets away a high floater. And this one allowed to hit on the 6, backs up sideways. Touched by the Vikings. A scrum is on for the ball. If the Packers recovered its Green Bay football, it was touched first, I believe, by the return man Price. It's
And the
Green
Packers
Bay ball.
have recovered.
On the biggest play of the game, the Packers have it. Just outside the 5-yard line.
2 plays later, Emmanuel Wilson was into the end zone, and the Packers were up 17-6. And unlike another team in the NFC North, the Packers just pulled away, separated from the Minnesota Vikings, and didn't make it a 60-minute game. Scott Dalton joins us now.
Is that aimed at me, Billy?
No, I don't know what team would have done that.
Personally, the Lions, perhaps.
Maybe the 8-3. Well, listen, you guys got at least one victory against that Minnesota team. The Packers trying to make sure that they can be the only one to sweep them. Bears 8-3. Vikings fall yesterday as the Packers beat the absolute brakes off of JJ McCarthy and that Vikings offense in the second half, 23-6.
Thanks for bringing up that first game, the Bears. I was there. That was Monday Night Football.
I was trying to figure out a way to weave it in. I was trying to find a way to weave it in.
I still can't believe they lost that game. That one might come back to haunt them. Who knows? Because that one was what just happened. Fourth quarter, Vikings came back and somehow won.
Well, you learn through your scars.
Yeah, that's true.
You didn't
think might have known.
And you didn't think you'd be where you are this year, so I don't think any Bears fan can sit and complain about being 8-3.
Well, especially after they gave up 50 burger and we're 0-2 after the Detroit game.
Yeah, and still have a negative point differential because of that. Now,
Feels like totally found money, winning 8 of your last 9, and 4 consecutive games have the Bears won, all 1-score games.
It's amazing.
And you got
3 of them were comebacks.
And 3 of them were comebacks. 2 of them, I think they gave up the lead in the final 2 minutes of the game and ended up winning the game.
It reminds me of the Vikings last year. Was that doing a lot of those things, right?
It reminds me a little bit more, Armen, of now the 2 games that Dolph mentioned there, probably excluded from the equation, but reminds me a lot of the 2019 Green Bay Packers, where you couldn't fully explain it, but they're 13-3. Hey man, that team was in the NFC title game. You don't know exactly how far you can ride one of these. When it's happening, you just enjoy it and salivate in the moment.
And I know a lot was made yesterday, the fact that Aaron Rodgers, who's 25-5 in his career against the Bears, did not play, but the Bears were without all 3 linebackers and the top 2 cornerbacks. My God, they had practice squad guys out there performing. I didn't know who any of them were, but they performed great, and they found a way to beat the Steelers.
And if it would have been December, then it would have been the time to back the Steelers.
Yeah,
Rudolph.
Oh, absolutely, Rudolph.
In
well
December,
done. Yeah, you have
riding you to a victory.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's how it rolls. Into November, it's too early for that. By the way, guys, can you help me out here? I was at Quick Trip today, grabbing some coffee before the show.
Great.
Do we say Happy Thanksgiving if it's not on Thanksgiving?
Yes, the week of.
The
I
week
say
of.
yes.
Yeah, I think
young man checking me out at Quick Trip. I'm like, have a Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, you too. You also see you next time.
Absolutely.
I caught him off. He almost didn't even get to see you next time out.
It's Thanksgiving week. We've already disrespected the holiday enough by putting up Christmas trees and stuff, and sending out Christmas cards. So I think it's absolutely appropriate to wish. It's not like getting a Happy New Year in February, right? I mean, that's weird. Right, but if you get a Happy New Year in February or in the spring, it's like, come on now.
It's Thanksgiving week. You'll see
Thanksgiving week.
You'll see right through Sunday. You'll see the networks with Happy Thanksgiving on their NFL coverage
with the little turkey and the little cornucopias underneath the score. Yeah, I love that stuff. I love that great type of production. You know what I mean? Happy holidays from all of us.
One of my favorites was the score bug in the 2010 year, right around the Christmas time. They just strung 4 little fake Christmas lights around the score bug.
Perfect.
That's great. The little accents are always a beautiful one.
The little stuff you need is all. Yeah, and you're in that Thanksgiving spirit and a giving spirit, which was an attitude of gratitude, which JJ McCarthy was in that spirit yesterday.
That he was
giving them out to the Packers.
He was shell shocked towards the end of that game. He could just sense those hits coming.
The thing about Kevin O'Connell is I respect him so much as a coach. He's a smart guy. He's a great coach. But you can be that intelligent and then say, this is our guy. That's tough for me. That's where I have a little bit of cognitive dissonance where I get Kevin O'Connell, I know you're a smart guy. What made you think JJ McCarthy was your dude roll into the season when you had other options available? Really good options available.
I'm not going to, pass judgment on JJ McCarthy just yet. I mean, he's still a rookie, Armen.
I know.
Armen's
he's a rookie.
I'll give you this.
He's a rookie. He didn't play. So
I'll give you this when it comes to the Vikings. Make up your mind with this kid.
That's all. Yeah.
Put him in there or just save him till next year to see what you have.
I think they
instead of, he's got this 3-month ankle injury and then whatever, either put him in there or don't.
Especially when he gets the hell beat out of him.
Yeah. And I mean, I am squarely right in the fence between the two camps. Cause Dolph, I'm right there with you. At some point, sometimes you got to get off the pot. There's only so many times that you can let the kid get his brains beat in and there not be a negative reaction or correlation to it going forward.
Right.
At some point, you're going to wreck this poor kid. And I do think he's got some really, really good talent.
He has shown flashes.
His arm strength is legit. And there's something to, again, moxie can only get you so far, but and everybody can like you, but at some point you got to be able to perform. And it feels like, and I don't know how you feel about it. Last week, they're talking about his mechanics and how broken it can be and all this, all that conversation around it. Some would say it builds in some excuses. I just think it throws him even more into the fire and makes it even tougher on the poor kid.
Well, the reason I mentioned Armen, I said I'm not ready to pass judgment on him yet. Was we saw this in Chicago last year. Caleb Williams was sacked 67 times.
Yeah,
he was just a lost kid for a while there, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that Matt Eberflus was the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, the Bears saw the error of their ways. They got a coach in there now that is a quarterback's best friend in Ben Johnson.
God, and I don't like him.
I know you don't.
Oh, it's awesome.
I know you don't. But more importantly, they went out and they addressed their offensive line. They got 3 vets that have been around the block a time or two. And you know what this is, a former offensive line. That makes all the difference in the world when you got guys in the middle of that offensive line that can play ball.
And can run Ben Johnson's stuff. Like, as much as I don't like him, actually, I appreciate the fact that I don't like him that much.
Yeah.
I don't want to like the Bears head coach, right? Like, Lovie Smith was kind of an endearing fella, even though his first thing was the thing that we're going to do is beat the Green Bay Packers.
Sure.
Right, number one object on our list. Okay, bub.
Lovey was just that even keel.
Then he
small town Texas guy. Rex is our quarterback.
Yeah.
He was that guy.
And he got results. He won. I mean, he won to the highest levels that they had won at in a long time.
Yeah.
Which made a big difference. And I think he had enough cachet in the state. That's why we're saying he got hired at Illinois, obviously, for a short time.
That's why he had jobs for 15 years after. And listen, they've had good coaches. He's one of the only guys that's actually done what all of them say they're going to do and beat Green Bay right out of the gates. But man, 8-3 is 8-3. And I don't know how you get there. You win enough games and they're finding ways to win. That's the mark of a good football team. And more importantly, and again, the one that really pains me to say it, a well-coached football team. And that's, again, something I don't love being able to say because, Dolph, I was firmly on Ben Johnson's an offensive coordinator island. And it seems like that island is going to be overtaken by water pretty quick.
I think you're right. I mean, it sure does look that way. I mean, he's just he's a guy that team has really bought into, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Now, defense, Dennis Allen, it's still a question mark, but I think if they can get somewhat healthy and get, Tremaine Edwards, TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds back and those 2 corners in the Pro Bowler and Jalen Johnson, that's going to make a big difference to this team if they can get some defense, because obviously that's been their Achilles so far.
And confidence. Now the schedule gets tougher for them, but now they believe they can win games. And it's fair to say you can coach, prepare well, you can have a good plan, you can execute most. But when things go your way at the end of the game, which they have for the Bears, you start to be like, okay, this thing's working. We're winning games. Things are breaking our way. We're doing something right. Those things can go either way in this league for a short time, as we know, but lately they've gone the Bears' way, and therefore they're going to pick up confidence to win games now.
Lots of division ball coming up. Packers twice, Lions once. But, they have to look back. You got to flush the Detroit game from week 2.
Oh, yeah.
From your mind. And then if they look back, they should have some confidence from last year. That meltdown in Detroit on Thanksgiving Day last year was a disaster that cost their coach at the time to get fired. And then the 2 Packer games were both final play games, right? A blocked field goal in Chicago and a winning field goal in Green Bay.
And the Eagles are not infallible. We've seen they're playing the Eagles this week, I think.
That game yesterday was fun to watch, man. Dallas. I mean, is that a playoff team all of a sudden?
I don't know what to make of it.
Crazy.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy used to say you are what your record is in this league. I don't think records mean anything anymore. I don't think anything means anything.
Oh, they're right in the
try
hunt.
to figure if they're in the hunt. Like, records matter where you are, obviously, in the standings, but there's no way to tell you the quality of a team, what they're going to do, to predict what they're going to do anymore in this league, because you just don't know. You don't know. Records mean nothing. You have to go into this thinking every NFL team is capable of winning any game each week.
I agree.
And down 21-0. Dallas comes back, and all of a sudden, like you said, guys, they're in the hunt.
Hey, and Packer fans were looking at that Carolina loss as a terrible loss a couple weeks ago. Well, look at the Panthers now.
They're 6-5.
Yeah, and they're playing tonight.
Lead.
Come on now. I mean, come on. They might be in the playoffs. They might be in a home game in the playoffs.
Any given Sunday is more true in the NFL than anywhere else when it comes to sports.
Your perception is not going to always be reality in this league, and more often than not, it just isn't. It just isn't. And you can be, and the margins are thin. Look at Indianapolis. They're feeling good. Kansas City's feeling terrible until the 4th, until overtime.
Yeah.
They turned that whole thing around yesterday.
3 overtime
What a
games
slate
yesterday.
of games yesterday.
It was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Becoming much more apparent there's one best team in the NFL and everybody else is kind of chasing Los Angeles.
Rams, man, they look good. And Stafford should be MVP at this point.
And nobody's really talking about their defense either. They've
That's
only
the
given,
thing, yeah.
I think they're the only team that's given up less than 200 points. Is it like 180, something like that?
I think you're exactly right. And they haven't given up. They gave up 33 in the loss to the Eagles. However, that's kind of broken because there was a kick return, blocked field goal returned for a touchdown on the final play that pushed it over 30. Otherwise, they haven't given up 30 points in any of these games. And they're young, they're explosive, and Stafford's playing. He's a Hall of Famer in his the career he's already put together, and he's having the best year of his Hall of Fame career.
Yes, yes.
That's a dangerous concoction that 11 games in, like you said, now maybe we'll start paying attention.
At 37 years old, he's never won the MVP. I don't think he's ever gotten a first place MVP vote, but this is the year he's going to get it. So congrats. He won it last night, I think, unless something drastic happens.
Not to mention, to me, it's the best football in NFL history. I'm sorry. I just love it. I love the horns coming out of the front,
the helmet,
curling around. I love that helmet. I loved it when it was blue and white back in 1,000 years ago.
It's a good look, yeah, no doubt.
They have modernized it when they first came up with the modern look when they moved to LA. I'm like, that's the worst thing I've ever looked. It's definitely grown on me because I'm with you. The old St. Louis one with the
didn't like that
thick gold. I love.
Did you like that better?
Oh, I love the Mark Bulger.
And that time,
yes, the scarecrow.
Yes, 100%. Like we need
funny
more
thing
of
is,
these.
they won the Super Bowl during the last year of the old logo.
Greatest show on turf.
Yeah, that was the Kurt one. So that was, then they switched to that modernized navy blue and gold. That's when we started thinking of them as Azakim, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, just putting up numbers, crazy numbers. Party in St. Louis, and then the party stopped really quick in St. Louis.
And then the Edward Jones Dome closed.
Yeah,
I've always wanted to ask someone that works for the Rams. If you look at the Rams logo, it kind of looks like the St. Louis Arch in the Rams logo now. Did they by chance throw that in there just as a little
possible
mock of St. Louis?
That's a great question, Luddy. I don't know.
I don't know if you've ever been to the Arch.
That would be chestnut checkers.
Man, that is a tourist trap.
We went this year for the first time ever.
Trash.
Well, I just didn't expect there to be so much defacing of the property.
Oh,
everyone's marked their name in the bottom, and I'm
right.
just saying St. Louis stinks. I'm sorry.
Here's the deal. I didn't know until this year that St. Louis is a national park. Doug Russell could have told you that.
Yeah,
but
I'm sorry, Billy.
St. Louis is a national park.
Don't apologize to me. I'm loving it.
And Armen's right. I mean, it's the only thing there, but we had to mark it off as a national park, so we went up the arch, and we spent. The museum is the best part of the.
Are there drinks up there?
You can get a beer.
In St. Louis.
You can't. I don't know if you can take a drink.
No,
to
I
the
mean
top.
in the arch.
No, it's very small up there. It's almost like a submarine. It's very confined, and there's just windows on both sides.
I don't know. I never took the ride. You take the ride up there.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was like the Go Roller in Vegas, where all of a sudden you get a little package, you get two drinks when you walk up there and check out the arch. That'd be a good idea.
It's a good revenue driver. I don't know. When we were kids, I just remember my dad saying, "All right, you guys looked at it now. You guys good?
We're there."
We're not paying to go up. We're not paying to go up.
You're like Chevy Chase in the original Vacation, the Grand Canyon. Okay, we got
all right, get on in there.
Which looking back, was a good decision by Dad. I mean,
probably was.
Saved that money.
Leon won on that one.
Probably use it for something better. Yeah,
we decided to tough it out for a weekend in St. Louis, and it was rainy. It was this.
I'm
April.
sorry.
Cardinals were not playing, although I like what they have. That downtown ballpark village.
That's nice. Yeah,
surrounding the stadium.
Just in time for the team to be bad and fans not going well.
Great point. Great point. Yeah, but I've seen St. Louis for the next 20 years. I don't.
You don't need to. Otherwise, I'll go for a Hardee's. Like that was maybe the second best part of going around, walking around the downtown. Like, oh, sweet, Hardee's.
They have Hardee's in downtown St. Louis.
I think what's got to be tough.
It's a good one.
The Hardee's, or is it a Carl's? It's a Hardee's.
Might be a Carl's Jr. You're right. Yeah, might be a Carl's.
Oh yeah,
might be a Carl's Jr.
I think what's tough if you're living in St. Louis is the knowledge that in 1904 you had the World's Fair. I mean, you were the epicenter of the world at one point. You were a world-class city. And now you can't even get to third place in the NLC. Like you know what I mean?
You've had two NFL teams leave your city.
I mean,
they won a Stanley Cup in
2019.
Our life. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, a few years ago. Yeah,
that was really annoying.
They played Gloria.
Oh yeah,
they score a goal. Which again, sometimes the goals songs might be the funniest thing in the world. How on earth does that happen? I like it though.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody should play "Always Be My Baby" by Mariah Carey.
Because that song's in your head this morning.
That song is stuck in my head right now.
Man is singing Mariah all morning.
He was on key too.
What's that?
Carry a pitch pipe in your pocket.
This guy's a singer.
Yeah, you can tell.
I don't know if you know William Schmidt knows how to sing.
I didn't know this.
He does. He's singing.
Were you in the high school musicals?
No, I had been asked to try out for the show choir and the musical in middle school.
Oh, the show choir. So this is like the traveling choir.
That was serious business. Yeah. And I felt bad when
football guy over here,
when I had to decline because my mom's like, "You're not actually going to do that, right?" I'm like, "Why not?" Because those kids are going to take that very seriously, Billy, and you're not going to go in there and mess around. It's like, Mom, that's a really good call.
You were like Josh Sitton in what was the movie the Packers were all in when they
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect.
Laura loves that.
Yeah.
That's one of her favorite movies. That's one
just
of Laura's
playing,
favorites.
messing around in the back. Everyone's Billy, we try to take this actually kind of seriously. I was in the Star Spangled Banner group though in high school. We sang the Star Spangled Banner at school events. First time I walked in there, they said, "Do you know how to sing the Star Star Spangled Banner? I think so. And say, that's not your part. Okay.
Were you a
This is going to be a
baritone?
little bit more intense. Yeah, I was in the baritone one.
Yeah, me too. That was me in high school.
See, Dolphin, I might have to start harmonizing.
Yeah.
Well, I was my freshman year. I was a tenor, and then my voice changed.
You were
that
never
summer.
a tenor. Come on.
Thank you. There's no
You
chance.
came out of the womb as a bass.
When your boy was 14 years old, he was a tenor.
Can
And
we
then
see
things
some
changed.
footage of this? Is there like
Gotta hear this.
camcorder footage of this?
I remember walking in there, and I the next year was chorus class.
There's
and my teacher
gotta
goes,
be.
Armen, you're now a bass. Things have changed for you. Okay, all right, I'm cool. I'm
Things
like
have
that.
dropped. You're a bass.
I'm that dude.
That's awesome. I'm that guy, pal. Dolph, you're that guy. We're going to see you before we wish you a happy Thanksgiving, so we won't do it yet. But we just found out about game time this week.
Yeah,
Maybe
you
an
guys
exciting
cool
week.
for that? It's
Yes.
like a Thanksgiving version of Game Time.
Oh, I love that.
Especially if it's about food, I can finally get a win because Lord knows I need one.
You're due.
I'm due. Dolph, we appreciate it.
All
Brother.
right,
We'll
boys.
talk to you tomorrow.
Dolph.
There he is, Scott Dolphin, FM 1061, hanging out with us here. It's No BS with Billy and Sari, and hear from. Do we want to go Micah Parsons or Jordan Love on the other side?
A great question. I think we should start with Micah.
Okay, because I was going to
Just
say
do.
2 sacks. Hard to not start with Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal yesterday on the field, post game as well. Here's some of that on the other side. It's No BS statewide as we wake up with you on a full order, a buffet table victory chicken Monday on the game.
Cause you'll always be my baby. And we'll linger on. Psychos, feeling the strong. No, you're never gonna shake that. Cause you'll always be my baby.
Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS will be back in just a moment. The Packers win the border battle.
McCarthy looks, fires left side, and it's intercepted on the overthrow. Intercepted on the play. Evan Williams, his second game in a row with an interception. Evan Williams delivers his second consecutive dagger.
Stay with us all day as we celebrate the win with you right here on The Game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1972.
In May, the Rolling Stones spend the year recording in southern France and released the double album Exile on Main Street. It goes to #1 in both the US and the UK. California band the Doobie Brothers score a hit off their second album Toulouse Street with the single Listen to the Music. More from the summer of '72, Curtis Mayfield is back on the charts with a soundtrack for the film Superfly. The album yields 2 top 10 hits with Freddy's Dead and the title track. And former Zombies keyboardist Rod Argent has a hit album and a #5 single in the US and the UK with Hold Your Head Up.
Hold your head up. Hold your head up. Hold your head up. Hold your head up.
Harry Chapin's performance of the song Taxi on The Tonight Show 2 nights in a row leads to a hit. And struggling UK band Mott the Hoople get help from fan David Bowie, who produces their album and writes them a hit, All the Young Dudes, which peaks at #3 in the UK and in the top 40 in the States.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1972. Coming up.
We call it Wagertainment.
All right, place your bets, place your bets.
VSiN every night at 6. Presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest on Fox Sports 920.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1968.
Born to be wild.
In January of 1968, Steppenwolf released their debut album, including the single Born to be Wild, which charts at #2 in the U.S. Johnny Cash records 2 live shows at California's Folsom Prison, along with June Carter and Carl Perkins. Also in January, the Beatles are #1 with Hello Goodbye. In London, they launched their own company, Applecore, with a store, a recording studio, and record label. February of 68, Pink Floyd lead singer Syd Barrett is checked into a psychiatric hospital and the band replaces him with David Gilmour. The Beatles, Donovan, Mia Farrow, and others travel to India to study transcendental meditation with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. And Bill Graham opens the Fillmore East concert venue in an abandoned New York City theater. April of 1968, the musical Hair opens on Broadway for the first of 1,750 performances. It would spawn several top 40 hits, including Aquarius, Good Morning Starshine, and Hair. Simon and Garfunkel released their album Bookends, which goes to #1 in the US and the UK. The single Mrs. Robinson would go to #1 in June, thanks to the movie The Graduate.
God bless you, please, Mrs. Robinson. Heaven holds a place for those who pray. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more. From 1968, coming up.
Animals need friends. For a list of 10 easy things you can do to brighten their lives, please write People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. That's Peter, Norfolk, Virginia, 23510. Thanks.
Ham is the fullback. Quick count, give Mason up the middle. Mason turned down. He is short, far short. Eneg Barre in to make the hit. And the Packers defense makes a stand at the 17-yard line of Green Bay.
That Packers defense was suffocating yesterday as the Packers get a massive victory over the Minnesota Vikings. 23-6 at Lambeau Field yesterday. Vikings run 44 offensive plays. NFL average is right around 58 per game. Time of possession won by the Green Bay Packers 37-15 to 22-45.
Incredible. The Packers did what teams were doing to them, Billy, which was kind of what I wanted. But teams were controlling the ball against them, a little too much control in the run game, and that's what killed them. And now we did it to the other, to our opponent, which is what I kind of wanted to do here.
First downs 22-10.
Yeah, that was a huge number. My God.
Third down efficiency 50%. I'm no math major. 2 of 9 is somewhere in the 23% variety.
Yeah, hidden talent that the Packers have had this year. Converting third downs, converting long third downs. I think they're #1 in the league in third down and long conversions.
Only thing I'll be upset about is Packers yards per play 4.4 to 3.3. But Armin, we were 2 yards away from officially doubling up the Vikings in total yardage. 288 to 145.
Yeah,
Again, a suffocating Packers defense yesterday on the Vikings. The one time they got into the red zone, they were unable to obviously crack into the end zone. J.J. McCarthy throws for 87 yards, and the Packers win 23-6. Vikings had, I think, 4 yards in the second.
And the yards per play, a lot of it's because the Packers ran so much. So that was part of it. So
that's impressive stuff. It just dominated the time of possession, dominated the football game in large parts of the man that dominated Christian Darrisaw on the other side. He said when he met Penei Sewell, hey, get used to this. This is twice a year. I'd love to know how many times he told Christian Darrisaw, it's you and me now, buddy, for the next 4 years, as he was beating him off the left side, up the middle, beating him inside, beating him outside. 2 sacks yesterday. Micah Parsons on the game.
Like, is that what the defense is supposed to look like out there?
It's better. It's better. It's not perfect. I didn't once again, I just think it's tough to build off of flashes of great things, but there's still things to fix. We was getting gashed early on in that first quarter. We anchored down on that big 4th down stop, but it's just things that you don't want to see. Once we get that things that we don't want to see, that's when,
What did you guys see at halftime that kind of made you guys flip the script that second half?
I don't think we saw anything. I think we were allowed to play a little bit of football today. That's the only difference. A little bit of drop back. Our offense played really well. E-Dub played really well. So that's what it comes down to. We're getting points and forcing teams to come see us now.
Another game or another season with double-digit sacks. Does it mean anything to you? Do you take anything from that account?
Yeah, you always should be appreciative. It's such a difficult feat. I wouldn't say it's a feat where it's very easy or anything like that. But it's a standard of play. I would say, me and CD Lamb used to say 1,000 yards is the minimum. So I feel like 10 sacks for the standard of player you are, that should be the minimum you should get. And for me, mine was always 10 sacks. So I'm beating him right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, he was injured though. So I dealt with the same thing. So, but he has no excuse because we had the same high ankle. So I'm still rooting for him to see what he does.
You talk about those back-to-back plays where first you get the sack and then you ran through another human being.
Yeah, they passed the ball. I can't force a team to pass the ball. Like, to be honest with you, they brought me here to pass rush. If a team wants to run 40 times a game, what is your pass rusher supposed to do? All I do is keep the edge. So like, if I can pass rush, I can affect the game. That's all this comes down to. Like, teams are just gonna run the ball though. Like, they're trying to minimize the game. Because guess what? We're a really good defense, but we have to find ways to stop the run and do a work as a team to put teams in position where they can pass the ball. So the mindset's always the same. Like, I don't think the production has slowed down in any fashion. When I get a chance, I win. I affect the quarterback. I do what I do, but it's about just getting into those opportunities.
Mike, first off, I have your soap. A lot of pass rush moves. What goes into just deciding this time I'm just going to run the guy over?
You know, just going into practicing, we were just going over protections, and I saw a look in practice, and I said, well, if they're going to slide hard to me this way, because I understand if I'm to the side, they're going to slide hard, can I back half it and work back to the center instead of crossing the center's face on like a time game or whatever? And, you know, I told D.Y., I said, listen, when it comes to the game, I'm going to blow the center up. Like, I'm going to back half it, and he's like, it's going to – and I got into the game, I blew it up. But that's what practice comes into place, like understanding the game, protection. So shout out to DC and VO because they bring up the idea that it's like, well, they're going to keep coming hard your way. There's only going to be one thing to make them stop, and you got to go through their face. So, you know, hopefully they slow down a little bit.
Even though you said there were still some things to clean up, but you were able to still dominate this Vikings offense. What does it say about that defense?
Oh, that you know, it just shows how resilient we can be. Even like that fourth down, that was like a huge stop, and then also Zane on defense of getting that turnover. So it just goes to show you like we can be really, really, really good. It's about being consistent and doing the little things. Like being greatness is the little things.
That is impressive when you think of the great parts of the game from Micah Parsons and company yesterday. And also great for him to drop defense.
Defense, he dropped it. I love his attitude. I love his approach. I love how pragmatic he is when he talks about it. And he was right. Like, now they have to pass because we had the lead. That's now where I can let my best talents come into play. So many people were missing that aspect of it the last couple of weeks.
It's almost like two individuals on a radio show that broadcasts on 1070 The Game.
Weird.
Wakes people up in the morning. We're saying that on Friday.
Weird. It is. But sometimes people don't want to hear pragmatic and logic and reasonable take. You know, sometimes they don't want to hear that.
Well, you know what they definitely want to hear? The Armen, Sorry, and Ask Me Anything hour. They missed their opportunity. 6 a.m. hour already went through. But if you got a couple, we can fit a couple in on the NickLayLaw.com talking text line. We can also fit in some phone calls on the other side. 877-794-1973. Open up the talk version of the talking text line. We had a little bit of an abbreviated Packers OT. Open up the phone line on the other side and celebrate with you at 877-794-1973. How do you feel? Good? Better? Great? Or not much improved after a 23-6 victory for the Green Bay Packers? That into hour two, no BS on the game.
Miss an hour of no BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app. The Packers beat the Vikings at Lambeau.
All three phases contributed to that win.
Safeties are high, soft coverage. Slot right, slot left. Snap McCarthy backpedal to the end zone. Under pressure, he's hit and sacked. Back at the 1 yard line. Wow, Devontae Wyatt. Yes.
Billy and Armen are basking in the glow of a border battle win all morning with you, right here on the game.
Now, a year in rock spotlight, 1975.
In February of 1975, Scottish funk and R&B band The Average White Band released their second album. It goes to number one thanks to the number one single, Pick Up the Pieces. Linda Ronstadt has a commercial breakthrough with her fifth album, Heart Like a Wheel. The album goes to number one and features the number one single, You're No Good.
I'm gonna say it again, you're no good.
Bob Dylan has a number 1 album with Blood on the Tracks. The single Tangled Up in Blue goes to number 31 in the States.
I murdered something underneath my breast. You studied the lines of my face. I must admit, felt a little uneasy when you bent down to tie the laces of my shoes. Tangled up in blue.
Also in March, UK band 10cc have a number 1 hit in the UK with I'm Not in Love. It goes to number 2 in the States. And My Eyes Adored You is a number 1 comeback hit for Frankie Valli, his first since 1967.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1975. Coming up.
You're a blot in the name of Gotham City University. When the students find out what kind of a person you really are, they'll hate you forever.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Elton John to reflect on a day in the life of writing and producing the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album in France.
We all stayed at the Shadow in bedrooms, along with my producer Gus Dudgeon and Bernie, who wrote the lyrics. And I used to get up, and same time as Bernie, I went down to breakfast. Bernie would be typing, not Bernie Taupin, and he would give me a lyric, and I would have my breakfast, and I would have a croissant and wander over to the electric piano. We had our instruments set up around the breakfast table, a guitar amp, a bass amp, and a drum kit, and the electric piano, and a mic, and I would sit down and write a song to those lyrics. Hence, then, could I wake the band up, because I'd be playing and singing, and they'd come down and having their breakfast, or even before they started, they would join in, and we would write the song straight away. After we'd finished, we'd go straight over to the other side. Maybe we write 2, but mostly 1. Start the day off with a song, and go off to the other side of the courtyard to the studio and record the song, and then write in the studio.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Elton John and all your favorite artists.
Addison split to the right, play action. McCarthy back to throw. Here comes the rush. McCarthy shovels it over the middle.
Intercepted.
Diving interception at the 41-yard line.
McDuffie.
Isaiah McDuffie. And the charge is on to the north end zone as the Packers celebrate the turnover.
Classic Cuts.
Artists aren't always the best judge of commercial potential. Tom Johnson of the Doobie Brothers didn't think Long Train Running was even worth recording. In 1973, it became a top 10 single.
That used to be called Rosie Pig Mosley, and we played it for a long time. And before we were signed, we had that song together. We didn't have the words, and I ended up writing the words that are on the record after we cut the track for the album. We didn't even put it on the first and second album. It went on until the third one. I didn't think it was worth recording at the time. I really didn't. I thought it was just too simple and so what. And Teddy thought it was a good song. He says, "Come on, man, it's a good song. Let's record it." Now, surprisingly enough, everybody really liked it. It's not that I didn't like the song. I just didn't think it was anything outstanding. But what do I know?
Dan, how big was a day like this where it's kind of seemed like all 3 phases? It was pretty well covered across the board.
Dominated. It's awesome. Just bring it into Thursday. So it's a good feeling for sure.
How are you feeling just in terms of kind of the groove you've been in last week? Obviously, get a game ball today. I think it was 3 inside the 20, as well.
Sure. I'm just right here. I just cut the ball. So doing my job as best I can. So.
As far as Brandon being able to get 3 field goals too, how good did that feel to get that out?
It's all great.
When you're a punter, do you feel like you're a weapon, like you can change the game just in one play by flipping the field or kind of bounce one back into somebody?
I definitely feel like I could just hit the best ball I can. If that ball is 60 yards, I'll take it. If it's 40 yards out at the 5-yard line, I'll take that too. So it's basically like a situational game almost, playing like golf most times, looking at the wind and stuff. So I'm trying to get as most out of every punt I can. So, yeah.
I was going to say golf. Do you feel like is that the idea there? I'm going to spin a sand wedge right back into somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get one to check all warm-up, so I'm glad I got one checking the game, so I'll take it.
Listen to us live 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app and watch our shows each weekday on YouTube, Facebook, and X. We are the Game.
Boys, I'm in trouble now. Ain't even trying to get out. So come on, baby, take me down, 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 yeah. Don't know what happened tonight. Don't know what happened last week. Don't know what happened to her. But she about to happen to me. She about to happen to me.
She'll probably be the one that got away.
No BS on the game. Billy and Zarian with you on 1070 The Game. Madison waking you up in the Fox Valley, Appleton, Oshkosh. What's going on?
What's up?
Packers get a victory, 23-6 celebratory. Well, let's be honest. It's a Victory Chicken Monday. It's always going to be a good one. And our friend John on the YouTube comments, too many Viking fans.
Okay.
These season ticket holders need to stop selling off tickets. John?
Now we're talking about something. Let's go. Go ahead, Billy. I want to hear your take. Go ahead. I'm excited. Go ahead.
I don't have a take.
Oh.
I'm so done with this nonsense. Like, if this is what we're going to do every single day is gripe about, well, there were too many people there that I didn't like. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't sit here and talk about how amazing Lambeau Field is and how it's the epicenter of football and talk about how everybody needs to go there and then bitch and moan when people do for a football game. What else are they supposed to do? All you do is talk about how great it is, about how everybody needs to love it. And then when people go, you bitch. I don't understand.
I'm at church.
I don't understand what we want.
Fair point.
Do we want the Packers to be different?
Yes.
We want to go
We're different.
and take over stands and take over stadiums, but how dare 7,000 people who might live down the freaking road wearing the other team's jersey, they can't come in here and watch. I mean, that is some of the sorriest bull I ever hear. And I'm tired of it being green package or gold package.
With you on that. I'm tired of the division.
Silver package.
I don't want division
or
of the fan
black
base.
package.
Yeah. No purple package, please.
White,
no.
green, black, blue, or orange.
All right.
Everybody is selling a ticket if they can't go to the game. And guess what? You're going to sell it online. It's going to be sold to whoever. It's a free market. Let them go to the game.
Yeah.
You know what? You know how it changes? You win the football game.
Which they do. Which they've been doing.
No, they haven't.
The Packers have.
The Packers haven't.
Well,
they lost the last two at the stadium.
Okay, they've been winning.
Armen.
Okay.
Lost the last two against the Vikings.
That's right.
At Lambeau.
Yeah, they've been winning.
So why wouldn't you want to go if you're a Viking fan? We can't have it both ways. And also, this is just the smallest little iota of it. And I'm just going to leave this last one here. If you don't have the tickets, stop complaining about how other people are using theirs. That's just the last one.
No, I generally agree with you, Billy. I do. I want you to know that I mostly agree with you in this take. It was very impassioned, and I like it because I think you have a good point. I'm with you about the whole Field of Dreams aspect. People are going to want to come see you, and you want people to come see your field because that's what makes it popular. That's what makes it profitable. That's what makes it solvent. That's what makes us, a successful team and franchise. However, I will say I was like, I kind of was hoping for a louder Packers contingent yesterday. It didn't feel like the excitement and energy was necessarily palpable at first, hearing it when the Packers were making big plays. Now, when they started to a little bit, I get it. Now, that being said, a lot of the Packers fans that go to these games, that sell the tickets, I got no problem with people doing what they want to do. I'm not going to tell people how to spend their money or manage their money. They do see it as a commodity, though. And so you say they can't go to games. A lot of them could go, but they choose to sell it. That being said, it's their right. And I don't want to do this green gold package thing and gold package thing either. I said this before. We can finally put it to rest. I said it before the season, during the season. We can finally put this gold package, green package to rest when Matt LaFleur showed up and represented for the gold package verbally. And I believe it to be the case. No more division, no more separating ourselves. I would like to see less purple package, but hey, that's just me being provincial and tribalistic for my team. Bears fans, Vikings fans especially, will always be there. They're close enough. They want to see their team play enough. They're going to be willing to spend the money. That's always going to happen. So that's just the reality of the situation. So generally, I agree with you, Billy. Good take. It is what it is. This is football. And people are going to go see.
And can you just put John back up on the YouTube stream?
Go ahead.
John.
Go ahead.
Not yelling at you.
No, it's
I
not
apologize
personal.
to my man, John.
We like John a lot. John
I
Curzal.
really like John.
We love John. One of the greatest.
It could have been any individual that set
fan.
that off.
Yeah.
Because I am so sick and tired of it. Again, I understand. I get it. But like you said, I wish it was louder at different points. I don't know what that means.
No, I get it.
Do we want it to sound like they just kicked a field goal to go to the Super Bowl every single time there's a first down? Do we want to sound like Wrigley Field when there's a fly ball into medium depth center field? Like, I get it. I know we want it to be loud. Whether or not you think it's not going to be like a Premier League soccer game where they're singing and dancing the entire game. It's not going to be like Philadelphia where they're throwing beer bottles at people walking in and telling people to F themselves.
We don't want that.
This is not going to happen.
We don't want that.
So if you want it to be different, I don't know exactly what we want, because there's half the people that say, I want to stay in the whole game and this is the best part of the whole experience. Then there's the other half that say, I got to sit down. Sorry, I'm 60 years old. I'm going to sit down and watch the game. I don't know what we want. What we want is the Packers to win. And yesterday was the first time they'd done that at Lambeau Field in a month.
That's true.
The first thing we see is, well, this quarterback's a game manager, $55 million. I just don't understand this. There were too many Viking fans in the crowd. I just don't believe that the crowd was at a decibel level that was difficult enough for the Vikings to operate. And when you play different teams and better teams, it's going to be difficult. We can be happy and enjoy it.
Well, that's
I'm not saying everything's great and everything's beautiful, but if we're complaining about there being too many Viking fans to sit there and watch their team get clapped by 3 scores, I wish there would have been 77,000 Purple fans in there.
I agree with
watching them get whooped.
I would say this. I agree with you. Like, we can be happy. So my thing is, I want to make sure Packer fans are enjoying it. But then listen, I don't want to make it sound like I'm telling someone I'm not a fan, which I'm not opposed to do sometimes. But like, it's hard to do that on a. Basically, the game was clinched on a field goal that put the Packers up 3 possessions. That's when it literally got clinched. When you made it 3 possessions with 23, it's hard to have a big time. I get it. You want that drive to end with a touchdown, and that's what you want to hear. Todd Rundgren. That's where the crowd will go off. So the fact of the matter is, unless it's a playoff game or something like you said, Billy, you're probably not getting that situation for a clinching field goal.
Yeah, I mean, I thought
totally
it was popping every time McCarthy was picking himself up off the ground.
And you were there, and I was just listening to an effects feed, you know?
Yeah,
so.
but you're also listening to it through pretty impressive speakers. Like the game day operation there and the production value is top of the list. So you hear the crowd, Mike. You know if it's going to be popping. You know what you want to hear. I think this is the other part of it. We're in a different spot here now. Watching Packers football for the last 3 decades, the only time you celebrated was when you said exactly that. Touchdowns, big plays, 40, 50-yard gains. Yeah, you'd be excited for a defensive play, but that wasn't what you came as the main course for. This defense is a main entree.
That's a great point.
I understand. As much as we can love, Thanksgiving's coming up, and we'll draft sides all week long. When your cheesy potatoes come out to the table, when mom's mashed potatoes hit the plate, I don't know if you really, really like yammed or if you're that weird cat that's eating the cranberry sauce.
Green bean
Whatever
casserole.
ends up being your favorite part, you can be excited for.
Yeah, no one's eating the cranberry sauce, man.
But when we drop that big old turkey down.
Okay, come on now.
And that centerpiece and that big old bird is right there in the middle, people get excited. That's the defense now.
And Micah had him going yesterday.
That is no longer the offense.
Yeah.
Is that a problem? I don't think so. It's just a little bit different. And maybe that's where what you're saying is the peak pops we need to flip onto when the defense is given 3 and outs and locking up an opponent to the point where they had 2 first downs in an entire half of football.
And this is like, listen, this is nitpicking stuff. It's small stuff. But the reality is the excitement that we had when Micah first when we first traded for Micah and when he first ran on the field against the Lions. Oh my goodness. The excitement when he first ran on the field. Now Micah's giving you what you want. So he gave you yesterday your money's worth. If you had that excitement about Micah all year, he's giving it to you now. I mean, the way he was dominating the game yesterday, finishing with sacks, getting the crowd hyped, you had to love that. You had to love that. So I think overall it's been great. I agree with your point about Lambeau Field being a destination. That's the reality of it. Now, Vikings fans are going to come if it's a destination or not because their team's playing this, but it is a destination. And I think there's no
Kevin,
question about
can we please not talk about fans being fans and talk about the good parts of the football game from yesterday? Kevin, we were. Again, I don't know what the fans being fans part of it is. Again, that's just what it fires into. Paul said, people shouldn't complain about there being so many opponent fans at Lambeau Field. Then Packers fans shouldn't be complaining when 15 to 20,000 fans storm an opponent stadium like Dallas, Arizona, or Atlanta. Again, it's part of it. That's the exciting part. I still think sports is better when it's a communal experience. And we don't need to be in a place in our world where we need to shut the other side out. Maybe we bring the other side in a little bit.
That's okay. That's
Maybe
fair.
that's where some good stuff in our world comes into when we all come together and it's not you versus me all the time.
Okay, it is in sports.
How
But
about
I get your
that?
point. I like that though. I mean, it's a good time of the year for that type of speech.
All we want to do is
Gratitude,
divide.
togetherness, inclusiveness. Yeah, we don't want to divide, but okay, but it's the Vikings. But I get your point. Yeah, it's absolutely true in
You
life.
can't jab at them if they're not there.
Yes, that's a great point.
See, this also comes to the aggressor and the one that is potentially I don't know what that would be. Would that be the victim?
Yeah, the oppressed. Yeah,
that's a great word.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that.
I look at the opportunity to celebrate in the face of the opponent.
I'm with you.
You're like, I don't want to see any of them. That's the difference. 877-794-1973. Bill and Iron River. Good morning, gentlemen. Love your no BS program.
Thank you,
Kudos to you, Billy. Right on about the opposition fans in there. Bill and Iron River. P.S. I'm a strident Packers and Brewers fan. Just to let you know, Bill, we love that you're repping up there in Iron River. And
Strident.
also,
what does strident mean?
That's a great word. I
I
think
don't
it
know.
means like a
I might
real
look it
hard,
up.
real intense, real strong.
you're fighting the good fight. You're enjoying it
Type of
today.
thing,
You
yeah.
are enjoying it.
Oh,
today.
Loud and harsh.
Harsh. I like that.
Yeah.
Also known as grating.
I like that word. I'm going to start using that.
It's an adjective
I
that
think I might
usually
be-
describes someone's voice, maybe loud and harsh.
Well, that would be my voice has been strident over the last couple of weeks. Brian and Madison said, Billy, wow, listening to that rant felt like I was going to end up in a van down by the river. Yeah, I've worked 2 straight weeks and my voice is cooked. So I do apologize.
Random Jim with
It's probably not going to get much better, too. I'm going to
No, you sound great.
give you a heads up.
Random Jim with a great point. A lot of deer in the freezer. It was deer hunting weekend. Yeah, so there are a lot of tickets sold. Well, yeah. Now, when I grew up, everyone
A lot
just
of
wore
meat in
their
the freezer this week. That's for sure.
When I grew up, everyone wore their blaze orange to the game. That was kind of part of the
Yeah,
part of the thing.
that's one
It
thing
wasn't
you can
cold
tell
enough.
over time has faded.
It's
for
not
sure.
cold. It wasn't cold enough.
Oh yeah, yeah. You
I think that's part of it. It wasn't cold enough.
I probably saw 30 to 40 of them.
Yeah, there was some 715 green package season ticket holder section 130. Thought the crowd was fired up and loud.
I thought it was
yesterday.
awesome.
Around us, no one sat down the entire first quarter. Great, and albeit, and you were in the bowl, Billy. So I take your word for it, and I trust that.
It was also a great day to be in the stands. Probably a bad day to be a beer.
Oh gosh,
Oh,
it'd been a
Like
great
that would have been
drinking
a
day.
bad day to be a cold beer because it was to the perfect drinking temperature. Not that you needed to cool down. You needed a little bit to warm up, but the beer was still a little bit colder than the air outside. Yeah, that was very, very good. Jeff said, let the opponent's fans come. It was great doing the skull in front of Vikings fans.
Oh yeah,
yesterday.
To your point, Billy, that would have been the best moment right there.
That was
That
maybe
was
the sweetest thing.
the
to be
greatest
able to
thing of
enjoy.
yesterday.
And I
I
would've
wish
given
that
it right to the guy.
I mean, NFL and Fox, they had one wide shot, but only for about 2 seconds. I mean, it was a cool moment for about 5, 7, 10
That
seconds.
entire
I don't
South
get
End was
goosebumps
doing it.
often, but
Yeah.
that was goosebump worthy.
The entire South End was doing it. It was intense. And actually, while we have it, why don't we have Evan Williams talk about it? The man that started the celebration, the man that got the clinching interception, him after the game yesterday.
Close there, they have the opportunity to keep running the ball, keep beating the clock, and just, keep our offense off the field. But, when we get up on teams, and they're forced to throw the ball, we feel like we can, let the dogs eat. Like we just get to let them off the leash and, let 1 and 5-2 do what they got to do. And I guess you saw today kind of the results of that. So, it feels good to play with a lead.
Who came up with the skull celebration? When did you guys think of that one?
I got to get that to Bull. Yeah, Bull came up with that. I think it was a little earlier in the week. He said something about it. And yeah, I didn't even know I was going to do it when we came out, but I don't know. I saw Bull over my shoulder. And I was like, yeah, let's run it. Why not right now? And it got a good response. I would say that much. I turned around. After one clap, literally the whole stadium started to do it. That was pretty legendary.
Well, that's the best part. The players were starting it. I like Javon Bullard. He's got that dog in him, thinking about it during the week.
Thinking about it, yeah.
Thinking about ways to disrespect the Vikings. Like anticipating.
He was hyped post game coming
Javon
in.
Bullard.
They were. the D-backs were loud post game. We'll just say that
Hey,
there was
listen,
a lot of
Jeff-
things being said that I can't say.
And kudos,
but yeah.
and kudos to them because they
One
were.
time.
We've been very thin at corner yesterday. Kamal hadn't had to come in and play the first defense of his career.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing when I heard that Wayne talk.
Nice
about
when it comes against JJ McCarthy. You can't throw.
That's a nice soft parachute landing. And that, all right, this is almost like your little trial period. This is like behind the wheel driver's ed. First cornerback of the year, having to play corner for the first time in your career. But it's against McCarthy, so we're just going to let you train here.
LaFleur's got the break on the right side.
Hey, don't worry about it. You got the big old student driver tag in the back. Armin, that might be one of the funniest things I've
going
heard in a
54
long
into 55. Yeah.
Thinking you're really in some.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about it. You're okay. You're okay.
Slow down. You're going 56.
Practicing,
Am I
practicing.
gonna get pulled over?
Yeah, practicing in some roads. Practice that wide turn, the thing like on streets that nobody's on.
You got the individual,
Really?
the buddy in the back seat that's got to have all the observation hours too, and he's, hey, so how do you think Andrew's doing right now? I think he's doing good. Please don't ask him how I'm driving when I have to be taking my turn behind the wheel.
Yeah.
We had a friend that had some observation hours back in that day. Our friend Rachel, and all of a sudden we're like, I thought there was one time here. She's like, I don't really think that happened. Turned completely
Oh, boy.
around, and the
Oh, boy.
teacher's like, hey, that might be.
That's a problem. That's going to get you some dings right there. So, no, and Javon has been a stalwart in the back end there.
One of the
you
more slept on Packers.
No one talks about him. We never talk about him, and
Mhm.
it's okay. He does a great job, but it's just something interesting to know. Let's see. We had another good one.
We got a lot of
here.
good ones. 877-794-1973. Ryan in Freedom said,
that's it.
If you're going to complain about fan behavior, can you switch to Badgers fans? No way they should storm the field for the second time for a win against an average Illinois team.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now,
Court
I said
storming,
that-
field storming.
I just sent
debates.
him a joke, and I said, listen, we start doing that next year when you start having expectations. The expectation at the middle point of the year this year for Badgers football was that they were going to go 2-10.
Mm-hmm.
That they were going to win 2 games and not win another game.
Yeah.
That you were going to have to watch them go 6 to 8 weeks, not winning a game, getting bludgeoned, and actually not wanting to turn the football game on. Instead, they played super inspired over the last 3 weeks. Did they have the result they wanted against Indiana? No. However, Daryl Peterson, senior, on senior day, in the locker room, Luke Fickell said it after the game. He's like, hey, halftime, I'm waiting for somebody. This maybe sparks a bigger conversation. Luke Fickell, 3 years in, waiting for somebody to be able to, in that locker room, step up and want to talk during halftime. That's another conversation. We'll get to that one. But he's like, I've been waiting for somebody to, kind of take it, right? Be that guy. And Daryl stands up and says, fellas, that's what Coach been talking about. It was 10-7 last week. We, as he said, crapped the bed. Lance Allen and I on the Badger football postgame show built by Cleary Building Corp. We
Cleary
built
built with pride before the Shamrocks applied.
Applied.
I used to think that said something totally different. But that's why I want to make
with
sure.
pride before the Shamrocks applied. One of the best jingles.
It is.
That's awesome.
I just thought it was totally different once. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
I can't wait to hear what you thought it was. I want to know what you thought it was.
Right.
But he's waiting for somebody to do it. Daryl Peterson stands up. He's like, last week we're in a 10-7 game against number 2 Indiana, and we get drummed in the second half. How about we be the hammer in the second half and not the nail? And did they take a whooping out on Illinois in the second half? Outscore them 14-0 in the fourth quarter.
And they're getting better.
In the fourth quarter, pardon me.
They're getting better. Am I wrong? They've been playing better, getting better, not going away. That's a mark of a couple things. Mark of a team that's got pride in them.
Yeah.
And that's a mark of a team that hasn't given up on their coach.
And I will celebrate, and I think a lot of us will going into Axe Week, because now it's about the Axe.
It's all about the Axe.
Nobody
I've been saying
thought
that
you
a
were
month
gonna
ago.
have that Axe.
It's all about the
in
Axe.
the building again, and you have been on it for a month.
This is about the Axe. This is the prize. Can you get to this? Can you cap this thing off? Can you write the last chapter correctly? Get the Axe and don't look now. Maybe get eligible for a bowl.
Maybe sneak in with that high team GPA and that GRS score.
Yeah, that one. And
Graduation rate score.
Does APR have anything to do with it?
I think it might, yeah.
Okay, then I like our chances.
I like our chances there. Come on.
Until Harvard's in it.
They're already in the FCS championship. Congratulations. They won the Ivy League this week.
Oh, congrats to them.
Actually, no, they lost it. They could have won it if they would have beat Yale, and they got blown out against the Bulldogs.
Interesting.
I want to say it was 43-20 at Yale. Those kids
Oh, yeah,
took an
FCS
absolute
playoffs start
whooping
next
out.
week, right?
Yep, they start next week.
Wow.
Don't look now, Billy, though. I'm
Division
just
3
saying.
playoffs started this past week.
Now all
Tough
4
one for
WEAC
Concordia.
teams will play this week, though.
Yeah,
they all got a bye.
All of them got a bye. Tough. I think Concordia was one of the representatives from the state that did not make it through round 1. However, WEAC schools were pulling for you. We'll keep you updated on all those games as we roll throughout the week. We'll celebrate it on a Victory Chicken Monday. We'll hit a bunch of NicolaLaw.com talking text line messages like Maggie in Georgia. I loved when the defense did the skull chant in the end zone. The crowd joined in.
And Jason in Cedar Grove wants some PA calls. We did play the Paul Allen call on the fumble.
Okay, Jason.
Keep listening throughout the show. We'll keep playing it. I know people are hopping in and out of the broadcast. You got it now, Billy? If you don't, that's fine. That's fine.
In radio, they tell you to keep them wanting a little bit more.
We're going to do it after
Jason,
this. Yeah.
That's coming up on the other side. It's no BS on the game.
Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS. We'll be back in just a moment.
I'm Chris Rose with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. We start in Sin City, where Shedeur Sanders got a win in his first start of his career, leading the Browns to a 24-10 victory over the Raiders. In Kansas City, the Chiefs needed overtime to squeak out a 23-20 win over the Colts. Rashee Rice, star of the game, reeling in 8 catches for $141. George Pickens racked up 9 catches for 146 yards and a score. Cowboys upset the Eagles 24-21 in Arlington. In Detroit, Jahmyr Gibbs had 264 scrimmage yards and 3 touchdowns, including a 69-yard scamper in overtime to help the Lions take down the G-Men 34-27. And in Sunday Night Football, Baker Mayfield had to exit the game early with a left shoulder injury. Rams made easy work of the Bucs at SoFi 34-7. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
It's the greatest story in sports.
Star dropping straight back. Kennedy throws, has the ball. It is McGee, touchdown.
I'm Doug Russell, and this is Tales from 1265, an insider's look at football's most storied franchise. A franchise that has had its dynasties.
This is the first Super Bowl trophy, and it's something Green Bay can keep. We're going to have a new trophy each year.
And its rebirths.
Every major football decision will be made by Ron Wolf.
I realize I'm a Green Bay Packer now, and maybe I can prove that I am worth the first-round pick next year, but just got to be patient.
But I was really impressed with the coaching staff, with the whole organization, and with the direction the team is going. I think they have a total commitment to winning.
Tales from 1265 is presented by Nicolay Law, your local award-winning injury lawyers. If you've been injured, get Nicolay, Wisconsin's winning team of lawyers that will get you back in the game. Tales from 1265 is a production of iHeartRadio Podcasts and is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Journey songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Separate Ways, Worlds Apart.
Someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. One night will remind you. Oh, we touched away on separate ways.
Number 2, Any Way You Want It.
Beautiful She said, any way you want it, that's the way it needs. Any way you want it, oh. I said, any way you want it, that's the way it needs. Any way you want it.
Number 1. Don't Stop Believing.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street life, people.
Hear more from Journey and similar artists now. Search for Journey on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
We'll be right back on The Game.
You may not play for your favorite team, but you act like it. Whether you're at work or outside on the grill, you carry them with you. No, not with a jersey, but a mindset as you crack open that ice-cold beer. Cheesehead TV and Gathering Place Brewing bring you Carry the G, a delicious and easy drinking cream ale. But it's not just for tailgating, it's for everyday life.
Well, we carry the G wherever we may be, so creamy and cold from the land of the green and gold.
Available throughout Wisconsin. 21 plus. Drink responsibly.
Message marked urgent. We're here for you now on the NicoleLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
No BS on the game. 877-794-1973. Packers win 23-6 over the hated, but with J.J. McCarthy under center, never feared Minnesota Vikings. Mike in MKE hit us up on the talking text line, said, need you boys to weigh in on a group chat topic. I like that. Armin, you're in a number of group chats.
I am.
The group
I got the
chat is a
Marquette
beautiful
boys.
development
I love it.
of our day and age we're in now.
The one thing, we'll complain a lot about the sometimes perils of what social media has done to us, as humans. I understand that. I mostly agree in a lot of ways. But the technology has brought us the group chat, which is a great way to stay connected with a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
Great way to find another way to say, hey, why aren't you texting back in the group chat more to your buddies, which is me. Yep. I'm usually, the Greek chorus of the group chat. I'm usually me and another guy are like the
we got a couple of good fantasy football group chats.
That's a great thing.
Yesterday after I park at Lambeau Field, see my buddy Alex Della, who's in both of them, and him and I are probably the ones, both with 2 kids, that don't respond as much as maybe we should. We saw each other. I thought about it after. We should have sent the picture to the chat. Hey.
Yeah, documentation.
Sorry, fellas. We might not be in today's DK Pick'em League, but we're right here hanging out at the game because the group chat's a beautiful thing. So, Mike, we'd love to be able to weigh in on your group chat.
I love it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Our Viking fan friend attended the game yesterday, but chose to wear a black nondescript hoodie instead of his usual purple Vikings gear he wears 90% of the time we see him.
Okay.
Is that fraudulent fandom?
He did it at Lambeau, I'm assuming, right?
He attended the game yesterday, and the game was at Lambeau, so I'm guessing yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna guess that's
Thank
where
you for that
was.
clarification. Yep. My official designation on that, my official verdict is he is ducking the smoke. Absolutely ducking the smoke. All right. If I go to the Marquette, Wisconsin game and I don't wear gold, am I ducking the smoke? Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know what the reason was because he had plenty of Vikings fans there yesterday. So he would have had plenty of his brethren if he needed to feel support from some. Why would he wear it? What's he afraid of? This isn't Philadelphia. This isn't what did I'm blanking on his name, the great coach from Cincinnati. What is this? You don't live in Cleveland. Stop throwing stuff or you don't live in Cincinnati, whatever it was.
You don't live in Cleveland. Stop throwing stuff on the field.
Gosh, why am I blanking?
I am doing it.
Killing me.
Well, you guys think
Sam
of that.
Sam Weiss, thank you. Anyway, why? Yeah, he's absolutely ducking the smoke. That is a terrible move. He should be proud of wear his colors.
Now, I totally agree. Like, absolutely should. I understand not doing it, but this comes back to a bigger frustration that I have. Like, we should feel safe going to a game. I mean, like, we cannot. I love every bit of the pettiness of it. I want us to feel like we can get a good, gentle laugh in ribbing. But if you feel like, hey, man, I don't want.
Okay.
I don't believe you should feel that way at Lambeau Field. I don't believe that's the case.
I don't think anyone's felt that way. Yeah.
Right. Like, well, I don't know. I've
crazy.
never been the opponent at the
I
stadium.
know, but there's been no.
We would talk about this with Mike all the time. Right. Like he had the one situation where Buddy was in the Cubs uniform at American Family Field and said something, or the Phillies fans like, hey, remember where you are. Like, I hate that that's enters people's ether.
I get
But Armen, you're the best parts of humanity.
I appreciate
let's just focus
better
on
than
this.
I will
Thank
say
you.
that.
Can
yeah.
we just say it that way? Like you're some of the best people in the world.
Yes.
Your heart and soul is one. There is not everybody in the world has that heart and soul.
I hear you.
And yes, sadly, you do have a certain portion that will have that feeling or trepidation.
But
that's sad.
My point is, I just don't remember there ever being a problem in Lambeau. Now, Cubs Brewers is different. There's always fights there, even at American Family Field. So I wouldn't say that about Brewers Cubs necessarily. I don't remember anyone having a problem at Lambeau, but I'm sure there have been times that people have felt. I'm sure that people have felt uncomfortable plenty of times,
especially this rivalry, especially Packers Vikings, Packers Bears. Those two will trip the police.
But I'm going to also say personal accountability is important. Generally, you're not catching problems from somebody for sitting and cheering for your team and being a reasonable fan and not causing problems or not trying to instigate others.
Well, and I also, and the thing is now I get, again, like I also haven't been in the position for a while, but listen, I think also we are in a spot where Packers fans will be like, hey, buddy, chill out. He's just watching the game.
I agree.
Hey, how about we calm down over here? Where we can be very pragmatic in that standpoint.
Yeah.
So I think you're right on that. But I understand why I think you should be able to go wear your Justin Jefferson jersey and feel good.
Oh, sure.
So, Mike, all that to be said, yeah, you gotta mock the hell out of your buddy.
What
like
is he
that.
doing?
That is some absolute fraudulent fandom. And next time he shows up to the cookout, shows up to the bar or to your house, more importantly, wearing Vikings purple, I think have the right to say, I think you should put that black nondescript hoodie back on.
Because that's what you're proud of.
Because that's what you're an actual fan of.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely think that should be the troll for the end of time, because that's absolutely fraudulent fandom.
I also think that there's a deeper level of what he was trying to do there. I think he wanted to wear the black hoodie, not wear the purple hoodie, so he could sort of aggrieve himself and make himself the victim and saying, I couldn't feel safe at Lambeau. I couldn't feel safe around Packer fans. I had to do this for my own personal safety, knowing all well that that's probably a stretch. That's probably a real long, like Laffy Taffy stretch. All right, like Airheads style, like Stretch Armstrong, because I don't think that's a problem.
That's my nickname.
I've never ever. That was your nickname, Laffy Taffy?
No, Stretch Armstrong.
Oh, Stretch Armstrong.
He was mean in the yoga room.
I can't really say. Listen, yoga's important.
I would sing "Shake That Laffy Taffy"
I can't
quite a bit.
Yeah.
I can't really say that you would
be in
have
the
felt.
Yeah.
So,
Well.
Yeah. He's
Urban
talking
Dictionary,
about
that one.
Yeah. No, but he's ducking the smoke, no doubt.
That's absolutely 1-877-794-1973. Corey, it's a great day when purple idiots across the river are crying. PA is a whiny B and a D-bag. Listening to you guys and having a Bloody Mary in the Deer Shack. Now, Corey, I've actually had a couple of interactions with PA.
We like PA.
I'm a big fan of PA.
Yeah, he was really. I mean, he's been nothing but cool to.
He's been
me.
extremely nice to me. I have a lot of personal admiration for the way he executes his craft.
Now, can I say this? I think what Corey is saying is his feelings are more what PA represents, which are the most emotional Vikings fans.
Yes.
That's what makes him a great broadcaster. He represents every emotion of this, and you don't like Vikings fans, which is totally understandable.
Yeah, none of us
like
do.
This is what makes sports great. This is what makes sports tribal. Is we don't want opposing fans in our space, and we don't like when they're there. That's what rivalries are made of.
Would this be considered whiny?
Whiny, like so. Go ahead, Billy. Yeah, take it.
Let's see if this.
Yeah,
but that's considered whiny.
That's what it is.
Ridiculous. Seriously, after the special teams L on Devin Duvernay last game, and Price lets it fly over his head,
and then for whatever the reason decides to run back by the ball
on the field to get them out of the
Green
way.
Bay ball.
Are you kidding me?
That's
with
ridiculous. I mean, this is so ridiculous.
And I like that. I mean, his frustration, because Vikings fans will like him for that reason, because he validates their feelings. Now, I would say
I know you're surprised. That is the only highlight that we were able to get from our friends to the West, because that was the only one that they felt comfortable enough to put up with the super cool PA graphic.
It's awesome graphic.
Not super surprised. Oh, they also had the opening kickoff. Okay, here we go. There we go. That was when it was a good moment
kick it
for them.
off to Miles Price, and boom! The 2025 border battle from Lambeau Field between the Vikings and the Green Bay Packers is in the air. And we're going to have a rare touchback to begin festivities.
See, and that was when it was the only good thing for him.
That was the highlight. Huh?
We did have somebody tell us that after the game, like, hey, what did you guys think of that kick that went into the end zone and didn't hit the landing zone, and they got the ball at the 35 instead of the 25?
Sure.
I think it was a mistake. Yeah, I don't believe that was the point.
Yeah.
So I do like that whenever it's, what do you guys think about that? Well, I think they made a mistake. It will happen. And hopefully more times than not, it doesn't bite you, especially when it's the opening kickoff of the game. But that was maybe the best thing that happened to the Vikings yesterday.
Sure, I would agree.
Was the fact that it did go into the end zone and they got the ball at the 35 and didn't let Miles Price fumble the football on the first snap of the game.
What makes those situations interesting is 80% of fans don't even know the rules right now. So most people didn't even realize
very hard to follow.
Oh, 35. Okay, I guess that's what it is, which I can't stand that. A team starts in the 35. They have one first down. They're pretty much in field goal range. It's crazy because that's what it is these days in the NFL. So I don't know. That's a totally different topic for the summer, probably, Billy, when we talk about rules changes and things like that. But, guys hit 65-yarders now. Guys hit 60-yarders like it's Sunday chicken. So I don't like barbecue chicken. So I don't think it's a Will Reichert yesterday. My goodness. Just 60 yards, no big deal. Even Wayne, and I love Wayne. I mean, Wayne knows more football than Oliver, but he's like, oh, they can't kick a field goal here, can they? I'm like, yeah, Wayne, it's a 60-yarder. This is the NFL in 2025. Everyone does this.
If you go back and see the highlight, you can almost see Kingsley and Igbare damn near dap up Will Reichert.
That was pretty good, man.
He almost reaches the arm out to be like, that was pretty impressive.
And you know what?
It's okay. Good work.
It's making kickers cool now. And I know you as a football guy don't like that necessarily. Kickers are part of it. You know what? You guys can do some badass things.
I like the kickers.
There's nothing wrong with kickers or punters.
No.
Or long snappers.
They used to be banished to the locker room as you guys aren't real football players. You guys aren't real badasses.
Well,
but now they are,
Well, here, I'll give you my quick 30 seconds on that. They are now going to be highlighted as the coolest guys on every single team. And every single team, you're going to hear about how amazing the kicker is and how cool the punter is.
Oh, I see.
And then going to demand content from the punter, because there's one former punter that is the content king at the moment. And then Pat McAfee's going to get more specialist jobs in broadcasting than maybe LSU is going to, or Lane Kiffin is going to get guys extensions in college football. Or Penn State got guys extensions in college football, because we're into they're funny. They're the coolest guys on the team. Not all of them are the coolest guys on the team. Ours is just a good lad.
Yeah.
Ours just a good lad. Dan Whalen coming in here for the boys. Putting the ball down the field into the 5-yard line.
He's been great.
He's doing it. He's just hanging out. I don't really know that Lucas Haversek, I've heard he's good vibes. That's what Wes told us yesterday.
Okay.
He's good vibes during after further review. No longer what's cooking with Wes.
Yeah.
It is now after further review.
He's put the apron away. He's not cooking anymore.
Which I don't necessarily love. I like Wes Hodquist.
You like them cooking.
But that neither here nor there. Yeah. He said he's good vibes. I bet he's good vibes. I bet he's fun. Most kickers are probably a good time. We like them being a part of the football team. We don't like when they have to be the A topic of the radio show day after a Packers game.
Sure, we didn't like
that. And I'm very happy for the fact that it's 7:39 and we haven't even had to mention Brandon McManus.
No, he made all the
outside of one kickoff that maybe went 5 yards deeper than you would have liked. Made all the kicks, did what he had to, and that was just the way that Matt LaFleur said in the post-game locker room. Hey, how about we fence? Brandon McManus made all his kicks. Everyone's like, all right, are we celebrating him for doing what we expect him to do?
You did have the point yesterday.
Yeah, Let's go.
You did make the point, maybe tongue in cheek. You did make the point on Packers OT that no one's giving Rich Bisaccia flowers today, even though his unit succeeded yesterday.
Well,
I was wondering where the Rich Bisaccia conversations were going to be.
Let's see if we can get a little more consistent.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest.
Speaking of punters,
Well,
man.
one week. Let's do 2. Let's stack them. Let's stack the weeks in special teams.
Ryan,
it's happened in the past, maybe in the 90s, but it's happened.
Then let's see when it does, and if there will ever be a time where there's some credit. Because I'm going to tell you there will never be.
Yeah.
And that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, there will never be. But in times where it is successful, hey, hey, Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. That baby defense, special team score, defense score, offense score. Can't ask for much more than that.
Perfect. By the way, I got to say this. The Vikings punter, Ryan Wright, my man, you got to get him a bigger jersey. The way he looks like he's straight off the bowling team. I mean, come on. The way he looked like a big old boy out there, didn't he?
He was their best player yesterday.
I mean, he needs to go to the Ryan Tinsley world of weight loss.
Oh,
he looked big guy for a punter. He looked pudgy for a punter. He's pudgy.
Well, maybe he's the Sebastian Janikowski of punters.
My point is clearly you can do your job like a left-handed reliever. You can be a big old boy and do your job well. And Ryan Wright punted really well yesterday. He was killing the Packers on some of those, and he did it looking like a bowl full of jelly, man. Let's be honest. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Eagles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Just get him. Can you just get him a bigger jersey, or maybe he wants to feel that.
You want to wear a tight, slender one, then they can't hold you.
I mean, you can't tell me you didn't see that guy and make you laugh. Like that's the only punter I've seen that isn't on the full on like full slender, like lean, mean machine diet. Like
problem was that whenever the punt was happening, outside of when Dan Whalen gets on the field, and we're calling him Dan now because Zane Anderson called him Dan on Packers OT.
Dan, no Danny, it's Dan.
Do we want to hear from Zane Anderson on the other side?
Hell yeah, we do.
Maybe the player of the game. We're going to hear from him coming up as well. And he celebrated Dan Whalen. We'll celebrate this Packers victory with all of you at 877-794-1973. Zane Anderson celebrated the play of the game with us on Packers OT yesterday. Hear it coming up. It's No BS on the Game.
.97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
It was the best start to a short week you can imagine.
And Love takes, handoff up the middle. It's Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Packers cash in and take a 16-6 lead.
Right, Wayne Larrabee on the call. The Packers beat up on the Vikings at Lambeau Field 23-6. Subbing for the injured Josh Jacobs, Emmanuel Wilson ran for 107 yards and a pair of scores. Micah Parsons had 2 more sacks. That brings his total for the year so far to 10. Now it's a short week. The Packers get the Lions in Detroit on Thursday. Speaking of Detroit, they win at home in overtime over the New York Giants, 34-27. Also from the division, it was the Bears edging the Steelers, 31-28. Wisconsin women's basketball winning at home over Detroit Mercy on Sunday, 81-63. Badgers volleyball a 3-set sweep over Iowa. I'm Doug Russell on the Game Radio Network.
The sweet sounds of a Packers victory.
From Daniel Whelan, high snap, he moves forward under no pressure, gets away a high floater. And this one allowed to hit on the 6, backs up sideways, touched by the Vikings. A scrum is on for the ball. It's
And the
Green Bay
Packers.
ball. And Love takes, handoff up the middle. It's Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Packers cash in and take a 16-6 lead. Taking the toss, McCarthy
There
looks
we
at
go.
throw, hit it, sack, back inside the 10. Micah Parsons, second sack of the game. He's got 10 sacks this season. Addison split to the right, play action. McCarthy back to throw. Here comes the rush. McCarthy shovels it over the middle.
Intercepted.
Diving interception at the 41-yard line.
McDuffie.
Isaiah McDuffie. And the charge is on to the north end zone as the Packers celebrate the turnover. Here's the snap. McCarthy looks, fires left side, and it's intercepted on the overthrow. Intercepted on the play. Evan Williams, his second game in a row with an interception, and that will do it. Evan Williams delivers his second consecutive dagger.
We're reacting to the border battle win all day on The Game.
You're rather
What?
attractive for a beautiful girl with great body.
It's a great feeling, because we see it in practice. So we knew eventually it was going to happen in the game. So it was just taking the time to, just be patient about it. And, now we're seeing it happen.
What was that like when you brought that up? You got a chance.
Oh, it's a great feeling. That's the goal every time you drop back in coverage, so it's definitely just a great feeling.
What did it feel like when you guys putting your ears back and getting after it? You had 10 quarterback units, 5 sacks. It just seemed like you guys dictated this.
Yeah, that was a game plan. We wanted to get after them, and that's what we did today.
Can you talk about setting the tone? The first quarter that hit on Hockenson really seemed to get the defense going.
I just seen them, and I just had a good break, and when the guys in that position, I like to lay the wood. You said, I guess.
Last week, you guys said you didn't feel like you played your standard. Do you feel like that was your standard? Why or why not?
I would say so. As a defense, anytime you can hold a team to 6 points, that's big. So we just got to keep carrying it over.
What does this do for you guys in the division? Obviously, 2-0 in the division. The next few games, you got the NFC North. What does this do with the win that you guys got today?
Just got to keep stacking. We say it every day, and we preach it, and we got to just keep doing it. We got to be about it every day. Come to the building, work hard, and just keep stacking it up.
What emphasis was that, Isaiah, for you guys? I know last year the games didn't go your way, but how much of an emphasis was that to do better than the absolute?
It's huge. That's the first goal of the year is to win the North, and we know anytime we play those guys, it's going to be a physical game, and like you said, you got to pin your ears back, and got to go to work.
What about Lambo?
From the start, more hats to the ball, more finishing. Not only on defense, but on special teams. Do you feel that way to you as a game winner?
I think we played complimentary ball today, and you've seen it. The offense feeding off the defense feeding off special teams. It's very complimentary, and I think that's when we play our best ball.
Yes, yeah. That play that they had with Zane recovering, how much game changer was that for you guys, and just being able to kind of get a big goal?
It's huge. Anytime you can make a play on special teams and force a takeaway, that's huge. That's like a 7-8 point differential right there, just being able to do that. So, those plays are huge.
Message marked urgent.
We're here for you now on the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
No BS on the game. All right, I lied. We're not listening to Zane Anderson here. Well, let's be honest. Some technical terrorism here in the iHeart Megaplex. Unable to damn near save just about anything on some of these shoddy computers that we have. To be completely honest with you, I'm just gonna call it what it is. There's just no chance. So as your boy did try to do some digging, the most recent broadcast we were able to find was of June. So that was not when we talked to Zane Anderson. We talked to Zane Anderson yesterday on Packers OT. So Packers win 23-6. Zane Anderson has a phenomenal time and an exciting moment. If you want to hear Zane Anderson, he talked to the football team after the game during the post-game video that the Packers put out. And Matt LaFleur very excited. Now, even though Matt LaFleur maybe would try to be frustrated after a result like that, even he couldn't be upset. Even when he talked to Larry McCarron after the game on the Packers radio network, there was no chance that you could be all that upset about a game like that yesterday, even though he did say, I don't know that I've ever called the same run play so many different times. Let's look around the NFL in games that we missed yesterday while we were watching the Packers beat up the Minnesota Vikings. We mentioned with Dolph, Bears win 31-28. Mason Rudolph was on the field for the Steelers. That's the Bears' fourth consecutive win. Their first win, however, against a team with a winning record when the game goes down. Patriots survive against the Bengals 26-20. One of the craziest ones, though, and maybe one of the craziest games that we saw all year long, man, Jahmyr Gibbs, when the Packers took on the Lions in week 1, I think they held him to 40-something yards total. And he had 219 on the ground and 2 tugs, including a 70-yard touchdown in overtime as they survived against the 2-win Giants. Jameis was unbelievable yesterday, but man, that was an emotional victory for the Lions 4 days away from hosting the Packers.
It really was. They averted disaster. I mean, obviously, this game shouldn't have been close on paper, but that's not the reality in the National Football League very often. Giants enter with a 2-9 record, but Detroit They were struggling on both ends of the field, Billy, all game, but they kind of escaped disaster. New York Giants had a chance to go up 10 with just a couple minutes to go late if they converted with goal to go. Couldn't do it, but I don't know. It's one of those things for the Lions. Will it help them? Will it hurt them going into Thursday? I don't think there's going to be any effect one way or the other that we can really measure. I really think it's just a matter of they got the win, they escaped. Maybe they were looking ahead of the Packers, maybe not. It's really hard to say. This is the NFL, and everyone's going to give you a tough go of it.
Yeah, I mean, Jameis Winston threw for 2 touchdowns and caught another. He then did throw an interception that nearly was backbreaking. However, I saw a lot of people frustrated, and somebody on the talking text line, it's the 5th loss the Giants have had this year, up double digits in the 4th quarter.
So they're not bad, yeah.
Somebody on the talking text line yesterday during Packers OT had thrown in there like, why do you not take the points? I actually understand Mike Kafka not, because I think Brian Daboll got fired for kicking a field goal.
Yeah, that's an example where I wouldn't take him.
He got fired the day after they kicked the field goal on the half-yard line against the Bears and then give up 14 straight points. Like, I think there's just absolute scars from the past of saying, like, I kicked this field goal, they're going to go down and score a touchdown, and then I have no chance of keeping this job after.
This is
so
your
I
chance,
actually understand Mike Kafka just from what he watched over the last 10 weeks being like, I think I got to go for this if I want to keep this job.
Oh, I agree. This is your chance to totally take control and choose your own destiny to win maybe a career-defining game for him. This was his chance to make that move and say, I'm going to go for it and go get this. I don't blame him because it really is little risk when you're 2-9. I hate to say it that way. There's always risk in winning a football game, which is important in the league. But
yeah, and if your team was better, then it might be a different story. Sure. Again, it's just like, to me, he literally watched Brian Daboll get gassed because they blew that same lead and they ended up kicking the field goal at that time. And I'm like, I think I'd probably not do that.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't really agree more, Billy. I think that was probably the right move to make at the time. Unfortunately, because you give yourself 2 chances. You either convert, you win the ball game, you pretty much clinch, or if you don't, you can still stop them here. And they just couldn't do it. They came as close as you can close to getting it done. They couldn't do it.
And it was an incredible kick by Bates to be able to send it to OT, like a 56-yarder that just tucked through close. It was a good one.
It was a really good one, and
we
shouldn't take it for granted, but we're going to start to do it now in this league. Guy, you have to make 50-plus yarders now in this league with regularity. That's just the reality. The standard has changed. The industry standard has changed, so to speak, Billy, and the expectations changed.
Jake Bates, USFL legend. Turned NFL star, and that was a big one there. Seattle wins, doesn't cover against the now 1-10 Titans, 30-24 there. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 2 TDs, 8 grabs for $167. That's a pretty good day. Chiefs kind of stay alive with that win against the Colts. Now, they win it in overtime. Colts all of a sudden are going to start looking at this schedule being like, damn, we need to win like 3 more games to make sure that we're into the playoffs. They play the Texans twice. They got the Jags coming up. Their schedule toughens up, and that was a game that was going to be a tough one for them to be able to win. I think they got to go to Seattle still. They got a tough slate ahead of them in Indianapolis, but that was a huge win by the Chiefs being able to come back and win that one. They were down 11 in the 4th quarter, 20-9, and ended up scoring the last 14 unanswered and winning it in overtime. And maybe one of the funniest results of the entire season. The Browns win 24-10 in Shedeur Sanders' first start. It is the first time a Browns starting quarterback has won their first start since 1995.
It's hilarious.
A year they knew they were leaving Cleveland at that point.
Right.
30 years since the first start for a Browns quarterback ended in a victory. It was because. Go ahead.
Was it Eric Zier?
You knew it.
Was that right?
You're right.
Yeah, you heard it last night.
Well, it wasn't Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah.
I didn't hear it, but I thought I knew Eric Zier existed that year.
Totally didn't see that one on the broadcast, did he, Luddy? Yeah, he totally.
That's how you found out how to spell Zier, right?
Well, you don't have to believe me.
877-794-1973. We're back with hour 3. It's no BS. We've reached halftime of a Victory Chicken Monday on the game.
Miss an hour of no BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app. The Packers beat the Vikings at Lambeau.
All three phases contributed to that win.
Safeties are high, soft coverage. Slot right, slot left. Snap McCarthy backpedal to the end zone. Under pressure. He's hit and sacked. Back at the 1 yard line. Wow. Devontae Wyatt. Yes.
Billy and Armen are basking in the glow of a border battle win all morning with you, right here on The Game. Drew and KB on The Game.
We're riding the K train. Cato Kalin joins the program. Hey, the Just a Bit Outside documentary from your friend Kelly Call and his crew was phenomenal. I've watched it a bunch of times. We make all of our young listeners and our young coworkers watch it to see what it was like with the 82 Brewers and why that team is so beloved. I'm just wondering, Cato, what memories did that bring back for you when you saw it?
It was great because first of all, when they beat the Angels, coming back to 3 games in a row, nothing is phenomenal. I remember going to so many games. Harvey Keene was amazing. The whole gang. One time I did an event, and it was actually when I was living in LA, but I was flown to Milwaukee when the Potawatomi sort of just opened, and I was a guest of a huge charity, and my seat was next to Moose Haw, and I had the guy was great. He lives in Scottsdale now. So I stayed, we exchanged numbers, and we just reminisced about how great he was and how great the Brewer was just during that entire time. I mean, Vukovic, Gorman Thomas, it was so blue collar that, everybody gravitates that this team has got to win it all, which they didn't.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search Drew and KB on the iHeartRadio app. Coming up next, Wayne Larrabee, the voice of the Packers, will join the guys.
There is your dagger.
Stay tuned.
iHeartRadio.
Here are the top Pat Benatar songs that you've thumbed up. Number 3, Love is a Battlefield. Number 2, We Belong. Number 1, Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Hear more from Pat Benatar and similar artists now. Search for Pat Benatar on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
I know on the back end, it makes our job easier too. When the guys up front are in their gaps, setting edges, and then you got the backers on the second level, in their gaps and making the plays when the plays come to them. Like I said, everybody doing their job, and in the back end, we just kind of we're chilling. And then, you see once they start trying to throw the ball down the field, we make plays, So it was good to see.
X, where would you rank this defensive performance? Because you guys just totally dominated that Vikings offense today.
Yeah, I think we got one of the best defenses in this league, if not the best. Just the talent that we have. We had a hell of a DC. He caught a great game today, and we went out there and executed, and we got great players. So we got great DC, great players, all coming together. It looks good.
What did you see from Carrington and Kamal? You lose Keyshawn there early.
Yeah.
All those guys kind of stepped up, being able to kind of get you the rest of the way.
Yeah, just been preaching the same thing, making sure no matter who comes into the game, whether that's a starter, backups back, it don't matter. Everybody's prepared and ready to go. And I think that's how, our group is, that's how we're mentally we're focused. And, no matter whose number is called, we're making sure that we're ready to go.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Brian Adams to discuss how he comes up with song titles.
Yeah, actually, a lot of my song titles are mumbles. With Cuts Like a Knife, it was just we used to jam, Jim Valance and I would jam songs together. And I remember we listened back to the tape afterwards. And I said, that sort of sounded like Cuts Like a Knife. didn't it sound like cuss like a knife? He goes, yeah. And then I play it back, and yes, I said cuss like a knife. That's cool. And then he'd say, what about cuss like a knife, but it feels so right? I said, that's a good idea. So whatever that means. He makes sense of my mumbles.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bryan Adams and all your favorite artists.
It's BS with Billy and Armen on Wisconsin's home for the best sports talk and other stuff. The Game.
On 1st and goal inside the 1. Love takes, gives up the middle, fighting his way. Second effort to the end zone. Emmanuel Wilson, touchdown, Green Bay Packers. And this one allowed to hit on the 6, backs up sideways. Touched by the Vikings. A scrum is on for the ball. It's
And the
Green
Packers.
Bay ball. And Love takes, handoff up the middle. It's Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Packers cash in. Here's the snap. McCarthy looks, pump fakes once, hit and sack. Micah Parsons faking the toss. McCarthy
There
looks
we
the
go.
throw, hit and sack. Back inside the 10. Micah Parsons, second sack of the game. Here's the snap. McCarthy looks, fires left side, and it's intercepted on the overthrow. Intercepted on the play. Evan Williams. His second game in a row with an interception, and that will do it. Evan Williams delivers his second consecutive dagger.
Evan Williams gets the pleasure of delivering the dagger yesterday. J.J. McCarthy left it out there on a platter for the Packers most of the day. And I will say he's welcome back to Lambeau Field anytime he wants, wearing the colors of purple. Wayne Larrabee, the man that illustrated and brought you all of those calls, joins us now on No BS. Wayne, there's a lot of different times that I feel sorry for individuals. I felt sorry a couple of times for J.J. McCarthy peeling himself up off the turf yesterday. The Packers hammered him rushing for a number of different times. They brought some blitzes that we were wondering if they were going to do, but most importantly, they sealed the deal by securing a couple of those throws he tossed right at them. We've been wondering when the Packers were going to secure those opportunities. JJ gave them a couple, and they took all of them yesterday.
Yeah, they did. And it was good to see, because the one element that has been missing from this defense, they've been very good in so many areas all season, has been the takeaway factor. And yet in the last couple of games now, we're starting to see takeaways happen. And, Billy, I don't know if takeaways are the residue of preparation and, skill, as they might be just, in some cases, just luck. You know what I mean? You just get lucky. The ball bounces your way. I'm sure it's a combination of either one of those factors, but it's nice to see them going Green Bay's way right now.
You're spot on. And Armin, it's almost like sometimes we feel like we shouldn't use the luck word.
Right.
But
That's it.
I think Wayne's spot on. We see it in sport. Sometimes you need luck, Wayne, in sports to get to where you have to be and where you want to go. There's no team that hasn't gotten fortunate breaks. You do create your own good fortune along the way, but damn, you got to get the ball to bounce your way a couple of different times. And it does feel like when the turnover avalanche can start rolling, it can really rumble and go down that mountain. And with this kind of defense, you can keep that roll rolling, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about it, guys. And I think, the key to the game, obviously, was the special teams play made by Zane Anderson in the third period that set up the Packers for the touchdown that gave them the 2-score lead. And 2 scores in that game, with the way that game was playing out, was just huge. And it allowed the complexion of the game to change. Suddenly, the Vikings had to pass more than they wanted to. And suddenly, the Packers were able to unleash the pass rush. And so I think that's the way the game went. But if you look at this game, and Matt LaFleur felt going in that the team that was more physical, that possessed the football and did not turn it over, would win the football game. Well, that's exactly what the Packers did. They possessed the football. If I'm not mistaken, if my math is correct, and it very well might not be, the Packers had the football for 15 minutes and 30 seconds longer than the Vikings. That's a quarter. That's a quarter of the game, right there. They ran 21 more plays than the Vikings. You realize the Packers all season have been on the wrong side of the play chart, in that their opponents had run more offensive plays than the Packers have all season. that this kind of either evened it up or gave them the Packers a little bit of an edge there. But you can see what I'm saying. The possession factor was huge in that game, and that's the way Matt LaFleur played it. And with McCarthy struggling the way he did, the Packers never really had to go downfield. The 21 passing attempts might have been a season low for Jordan Love. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and they didn't need to. And I think it's so interesting what you're saying, because the term complementary football is thrown around, and it can feel cliche at times, but it's very true in today's NFL, where Micah Parsons noted at postgame, he said, well, we were given more chances to rush because teams actually had to pass on us. And that was all about, yesterday in the broadcast, you noted it a lot, Wayne, you and Larry, that you had to get the lead early. You had to be able to start to control possession and run the ball so you could control clock, make the other team pass. And that's where the complementary football comes into play, with giving our D-line, Micah Parsons, the pass rushers, a chance to actually pass rush.
Armen, it's interesting. John Kuhn early on mentioned how important it would be to get out in front. Why? Well, because it changes the way Minnesota's able to play. If Minnesota's on the lead and running the football effectively and possessing the football, which is their formula for winning now, that defense, all of a sudden, Brian Flores' full playbook comes into play. And now you're looking at the exotic blitzes, this, that, and the other thing. I thought yesterday it kind of played out that way, with the exception of, I don't know, Billy, it looked to me like Flores was opening his playbook, trying to get as many people to the line of scrimmage and doing all of the stuff they do. And Flores is a brilliant defensive coordinator. But the Packers had an answer. They just were steady, and I thought the offensive line played well. They didn't run the football explosively. I mean, they had, I think they averaged 3.8 yards a carry. They invested like 42 rushing attempts, a season high in there. Their long gain was 13. But the Vikings, just on their style of play and getting guys to the line of scrimmage, the running lanes weren't as wide, let's put it that way, as they may be against another team on that type of day.
Well, and Wayne, that's why I thought the way Emmanuel Wilson ran was very impactful, because he was really decisive. He appears to have maybe a tick better burst this year than he did a year ago. And I thought when he found a crease, and to your point, they weren't huge holes, he was very quick and understanding, I'm going to get my 4 yards and then figure it out. And also, those boys were moving piles, especially into the fourth quarter. That was an attitude moment. And for Jordan, he doesn't throw a touchdown. It's the first time in his Packers starting career he starts and finishes a game without throwing a touchdown pass. But Wayne, they didn't have to. And I thought maybe the attitude and the statement they were trying to make was why they could have absolutely thrown it on that 3rd and 3 at the 14-yard line or whatever. But instead, they're like, we believe that we can push you around. And that's a bigger statement than us trying to get the ball to Christian Watson or Romeo Doubs right now.
And it was so obvious in that second half that there was no way J.J. McCarthy was going to bring the Vikings from behind, unless you helped them by making mistakes, allowing an interception return, that kind of thing. If you didn't help them, there is no way J.J. McCarthy and that Vikings offense was going to overcome a 2-score lead, just the way that day was playing out. Now, maybe different in a number of weeks when we see them again, but right now, that kid has a lot of potential. He's not quite ready to play, and they have no alternative. They have somebody named Max Brosmer backing him up. Carson Wentz played 5 games, 3 of which were good and 2 were terrible, and then he went out on – now he's on IR. So, that's it. It's JJ or nothing for the Vikings. And the thing is, what's going to be interesting to see how they handle this. The league breaks 10 times more quarterbacks than it makes. I think Kevin O'Connell is one of the best head coaches in the league. But what he's really number one at, in my opinion, is handling quarterbacks. And I think his challenge this year, let's get through this season. Let's see if we can get some positives going down the stretch, and let's not break this quarterback, because he is our first-round draft choice, 10th overall pick in the draft, and we have got to keep this guy mentally upright as well as physically.
Wayne, and you're so spot on. Like, you could see it, and I actually do. I know I'm making a lot of jokes, and I definitely enjoy making jokes at the Minnesota Vikings expense. It's one of my favorite things. I said yesterday, I love my family. I love the people I work with. I love my job. I really love watching the Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau Field. It's very, very high up on that list. But it appears, Wayne, that he is a little bit fractured at the moment. I don't think fully broken, but man, when they're talking about mechanics during the week and he's talking about retraining the way you play quarterback, I listened after they got their doors blown off against the Chargers, and they had callers on their post game being like, I watched Max Brosmer throw 3 touchdowns against for the Golden Gophers. He can play football. I watched him at University of Minnesota. He can play football. They should put him into football game every once in a while. But they might actually have to turn over because it's a tough spot if you keep trotting him back out there, and he does really lose all confidence right now because it's a dangerous spot that they're in.
Guys, the one takeaway from yesterday's game, and I don't know if you'd agree with it, but we talk so much about the quarterback position, right? And we tell people that that's the most important position in the game. And, the layman who might see 2 or 3 football games a year say, well, wait a minute, they got these 53 men on this roster. How can one position mean so much? Go back to yesterday, watch the game. That's how that position can mean so much. The Vikings, Larry and I were talking about this early on. They're a better team roster-wise. They're better than they were a year ago. And they won 14 games a year ago. So what's the difference? Well, it's twofold. Number one, the quarterback position. Number two, they're not getting the takeaways they got a year ago defensively. So, but the quarterback position is so important, and it overshadows almost the rest of your roster. If you've got a really good quarterback having an MVP-type year, you don't need to be very good elsewhere. He's going to carry you. We saw Aaron Rodgers do that in 2016. Took a real bad Packers roster all the way to the NFC title game. And the next year, when he got injured and we're working with Brett Hundley, we go to Cleveland to face one of the vintage bad Browns teams. And I remember that week I'm preparing for the game and saying, you know what? We're no better than them. And that game went overtime, and Devontae Adams finally won it on a touchdown.
It's really true, and it's amazing. And staying on that topic of quarterbacks for a little bit, because I think it's instructive, is, Jordan Love, who I think has been having a very good year. Now, there are days like yesterday when it can be sort of nondescript numbers-wise. No touchdowns, no interceptions, but I thought he was very efficient, and no better way to see that than on the third down numbers, where a lot of that has to do with the passing game. And the Packers sneakily, Wayne, have been the best third down team in the National Football League this year. They're almost up to 50%. They're clearing away the top team in NFL third down percentage. Yesterday, they were 7-14. Last year, they were only 40% from third down, a drastic increase in improvement. A lot of that is the consistency, I think, of Jordan Love and the receivers. And that's been pretty impressive this year. A sneaky number, I think.
Yeah, it really has. When you look at keys to winning games, I think third down, red zone production, the Packers have been pretty good at that this year. And then you look at turnovers. Those 3 areas, if you could take care of the football, if you can possess the football, converting third downs, and when you get into the red zone, you score touchdowns, those are the factors that win football games. Okay. Yeah. The other stuff you really don't have to be that good at. Just those factors as an offense, and you're going to win a lot of football games.
Wayne, I do want to ask one more about the offensive line and then celebrate the defense because they were phenomenal. Also, the Giants just fired their defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen. They're going to have nobody working for that poor team in a week and a half. It's just incredible. They're going to have nobody working there. But you see a group that was definitely in some turmoil over the last couple of weeks. You have the 2 clunkers at Lambeau. You struggle in those games. It feels like they're taking arrows all over the place. Aaron Banks, maybe not tremendous yesterday, but I thought he was decent. And an interesting quirk on the right side where there's a rotation of Jordan Morgan and Anthony Belton. And then in the second half, it was all Anthony Belton. Matt LaFleur talked about his play style, that he likes his attacking mindset. And it did feel like him next to Sean Ryan was a bit of a battering ram up front and kind of more of what they've wanted that group to look like in the interior.
Well, that interior, when you go Banks, Sean Ryan, who's just a grinder in there, and then you put big Anthony Belton. I mean, he's as big as the 60-yard line house at the corner of Oneida and Valley View Drive.
Great.
I mean, those guys can mash it up pretty good. And that's kind of what we were talking about in training camp, Billy, about the Packers being more physical offensive line. And that's what they had yesterday. Very interesting that, and Armin, you know this, because Larry picked Anthony Belton as his lineman of the game. He felt he was consistently good. And it'd be interesting to see, because a lot of us see a body like that and the long arms and the hands and the potential, the good feet. A lot of us see Belton as a starting left tackle, but maybe in the long run, the starting left tackle is going to be Jordan Morgan, and Belton might be a guard.
Yeah, and I'm not ready to give up on Jordan Morgan. I know there's a lot of people that are, Wayne, but just like I still see a really good amount of talent in there. But it did appear like they started playing differently when Belton was in there. And I'm glad Larry saw the same thing, because you could feel his presence. And you and I were talking about it doing the draft show. Like, everybody wants to get Mekhi Becton after the Eagles have a 370-pound guard on the right side. Like, oh, just get that guy and it'll work out. And now we find the big mauler, but it's a little bit easier said than done. Rarely those guys work all that well inside, because it's tough to see over them.
Yeah, no, you're right, Billy. It takes kind of a unique individual, but the Packers are going to find out if this kid can do it. And we're going to find out over the last month and a half of the season. And so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. The line has not been as good as it was the last 5 years. In Green Bay, we've been blessed with top 5 performing offensive lines in the last 5 years, top 5 in the league. And, it's kind of middle of the pack right now from an analytics standpoint. I thought it was very good yesterday against the run. Loaded boxes. Flores just loads the box, whether he's bringing them or not. And so when you get those situations, it's hard to run the football. It really is. But they ran it effectively yesterday.
Yeah, and the A-gap should be better. When you think of Banks, Sean Ryan, Belton, those are 3 big old boys. And it seems like Anthony Belton does seem right at home at right guard. And I didn't think it was any coincidence, but that he was in there and the Packers finally had their first 100-yard rusher. That was one thing I didn't realize until I looked up.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
You would think Josh Jacobs would have stumbled into 100 yards, but that's not been the case this year, folks. And I don't. And again, I've maintained all year it's not Josh Jacobs. Okay, it is the issues they've had along the offensive line. I look at this factor: hand the football to the running back. When does he get hit? Does he get hit behind the line of scrimmage, at the line of scrimmage, or beyond the line of scrimmage? And too often, Josh Jacobs and these backs get hit behind the line of scrimmage. Didn't notice that as much yesterday in the game. I thought it was a little cleaner getting to the line of scrimmage for these backs. But, hey, listen, the Packers are like most of the NFL. They're still evolving. They really are. They're trying to figure it out. Big test coming up in Detroit. But you know what? The Lions, and we talked about this in ad nauseum in the preseason, they missed their opportunity to win the Super Bowl last year. Last year was their year, number 1 seed, the whole bit, and they missed it. And where are they now? Well, they've already lost twice as many regular season games now as they did all of last year. And it's just amazing to me. You miss that opportunity. You bring everybody back. You should be right there at the mountaintop, right? No, but you got to start at the bottom of the hill. Oh, and by the way, the path you used to get to the mountaintop last year, that's not available. You have to find another way. I don't care if everybody's back, but that trail I used to hike up Bald Mountain time and time again, you got to find a different way, because that trail's not available. That's not there. And this is why there's so much intrigue from season to season. Look at the Eagles.
Yep.
How did they lose that game to I'm listening on the way home.
Amazing. Isn't this league?
Say, wow, this is going to be a boat race. And I get in and I'm watching some other game on TV because, we don't have the package. But then I get a score. Dallas won the game. Are you kidding me? How could that have happened? But it did. And so the Eagles, even though they're still at the top of the heap for the most part, are finding it a little more difficult this year than it was a year ago. The path, you never take the same path year after year in the NFL.
Yeah, I also still am trying to figure out how the Eagles lost that game and lost me that parlay. I'm perplexed. I
really
like that. Out of all the legs, Wayne, that you just check off the box right away on the ticket, that was what then buried. That money was spent. However, thanks a lot, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of money that's the bet you're paying mortgage with. Okay.
Yes.
The other bets are a little, up and down, but you're paying mortgage with a bet like that. I mean, come on.
Thanks a lot. All I thought was my sweat was going to be the Jaguars and all my anger towards my boy Trevor Lawrence. Instead, Jalen Hurts was the one to be frustrated with. Wayne, now Thanksgiving in Detroit, not always the greatest way to celebrate, but this is my favorite day that the Packers play football. People think it's weird because now getting to work on the broadcast that you're working on Thanksgiving, it's my favorite football day of the year. How about you, Thanksgiving football in Detroit?
Yeah, Billy, one of my favorites as well. And I've done a number of games over there, one with the Chiefs, a bunch with the Bears, and a few Westwood One broadcasts. It's always special, because you're up early. It's a Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're playing daytime. It's not a night game on Thursday. It's almost a morning game on Thursday. And it's just very unique. It really is the tradition of the whole thing. Now that the Lions are really good, and they've been really good the last few years, there's so much import on the game. It's just great. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it's a heck of a ball game and the Packers win. But these are the two most, when you think of Thanksgiving games, you don't think of Lions and Chargers, do you? No. You think of Lions and Packers. That was the way it was when we were little kids growing up. That was before your time, either one of you. But nonetheless, Lombardi, by the way, put a kibosh on that.
We
aren't going over there every Thanksgiving. Get our butts kicked after Bart Starr got sacked like 15 times by Alex Karras in a game. But more often than not, Packers-Lions is a great matchup on Thanksgiving.
Especially when they bust out the old school unis with the no logos and the no decals. Again, special spot in my heart for that one. And you're right, Wayne. It is nice when a car dealership doesn't have to buy 2,000 tickets so the game doesn't get blacked out in Detroit. Now that they're actually good, people go to the game and not their family Thanksgiving. Congratulations, guys. You finally have a team worth going and enjoying. And hopefully you catch a Fat L coming up on Thursday. Wayne, have a phenomenal Thanksgiving. Have a great call, and we can't wait to hear it on Thursday.
All right, sounds good, guys. We'll see you Thursday.
Thanks, buddy. There's Wayne Larrabee hanging out with us here on No BS.
The nice thing
Victory
is also,
Chicken Monday before we flip it to a different type of poultry.
That's what I was going to say. You get the Victory Chicken now because you're eating turkey the rest of the week. And
we're smoking a turkey on Thursday.
I love that. I can't wait. I cannot wait to have some of your smoked turkey.
I'll bring something. It's going to be store-bought, but I'll bring something.
Wait. We're not doing like a potluck deal, right?
You don't have to bring anything.
Well, the way you just started it now, buddy, is he's bringing something.
Luddy said that he wanted to bring some. We were talking about it on the ride home yesterday. We were talking
I want to share.
I'm just saying.
I'm not going to eat Doug Russell's pizza.
Correct.
I just I got to eat something. I got to bring something now. This is how this goes.
Is there any baklava?
Well, I don't know. If there is, I
Armenian Thanksgiving.
You could have some dessert.
The problem is it's afterwards.
Oh, save it for yourself, you selfish son of a. More BS on the no BS on the other side.
Donuts.
It's better that we keep this close. Keep you close to me. Walking under every sky.
Safeties are high, soft coverage. Slot right, slot left. Snap McCarthy back pedal to the end zone. Under pressure, he's hit and sacked. Back at the 1 yard line. Wow, Devontae Wyatt. Yes.
I don't want it to be the way they want it. This town, this night, this crowd. Come on, put 'em up, let me hear it loud. This town, this city, this crowd. Stand up on your feet, put your worries down.
Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game. The Packers beat the Vikings at Lambeau.
Bottom line is just finding a way to get a dub, and our guys did that.
And Love takes, handoff up the middle. It's Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Packers cash in and take a 16-6 lead.
Billy and Armen are basking in the glow of a border battle win all morning with you, right here on The Game. If you missed No BS, you missed out on this.
If you ever have jury duty, both the defense and the plaintiff They can pick the jurors together.
Thanks for that reminder. I've actually never gotten to do jury.
Twice.
I got it 3 times.
I got it twice. Once on my 18th birthday, and I went through the entire trial process, and at the end, they cut one person. I was like, of course I get cut. I sit through all this, and I don't even get to be a part of the decision-making process.
No.
I was so mad.
Yeah, I had it 3 times already, Billy.
Jeez.
What's going on here? You know what I mean?
I'm an upstanding member of society.
You want to do it?
Pay taxes.
I love that you
don't want to do it, Billy.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I want to perform my civic duty.
I love that.
Everybody sits around and gripes about it.
You're right.
I want to perform my civic duty.
You know what?
Court system. I'm right here.
First
my
time.
wife gets the notification of the summons this week. She is complaining up and down.
Can you be her
tribute?
tribute?
I can't do this. No, you can't volunteer as tribute. I looked online. I was ready to Hunger Games that thing. Walk right in there. I volunteer as tribute. My wife's got 2 kids at home, basically running a preschool in our living room. I just make jokes on the radio. I will be the guy that potentially has somebody's fate in their hands, and they don't want that for some reason.
You know, I'm proud of you, Billy. I'm proud of that attitude. That's the correct attitude to have.
Be honest with you, I
I
had to hold back from swearing a couple of times because I
love
think
that.
it's bull. It's BS, like the name of the show. 31 years on this earth. I've been available for 12 of them.
Come on, Milwaukee
They've
County.
only given me 1 time as the reserve guy. I called in every hour. I was so juiced. I was dressed.
Sure.
I had a fake briefcase ready to roll down there. I know you can't even bring anything
You had a
in.
collared shirt on.
Yes.
Look like Hunter Baumgart.
You're going to defend him?
I don't know that I have ever worn a collared shirt tucked in outside of in a suit. Your boy was suited and booted, ready to roll down there
So proud of you, man.
to the courthouse.
Yeah.
Call in, automated voice message. The reserve jurors are unneeded for the afternoon of 4/19/24. Dang it!
Listen to No BS with Billy and Armen every weekday from 6 to 10 right here on The Game. Want to watch the shows? You can watch your favorite personalities talk about your favorite teams on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Just search 97.3 The Game.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It's the greatest story in sports.
Star dropping straight back. Hit as he throws, has the ball. It is a touchdown.
I'm Doug Russell, and this is Tales from 1265, an insider's look at football's most storied franchise. A franchise that has had its dynasties.
This is the first Super Bowl trophy, and it's something Green Bay can keep. We're going to have a new trophy each year.
And its rebirths.
Every major football decision will be made by Ron Wolf.
I realize I'm a Green Bay Packer now, and maybe I can prove that I am worth the first-round pick next year, but just got to be patient.
But I was really impressed with the coaching staff, with the whole organization, and with the direction the team is going. I think they have a total commitment to winning.
Tales from 1265 is presented by Nicolay Law, your local award-winning injury lawyers. If you've been injured, get Nicolay, Wisconsin's winning team of lawyers that will get you back in the game. Tales from 1265 is a production of iHeartRadio Podcasts and is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Classic Cuts.
While some hits are written in minutes, others take a long time to sculpt into final shape. Boston founder and guitarist Tom Scholz worked for years on More Than a Feeling and still didn't think it would be a big hit.
That was one of those songs that did not go together right away. Took, I think it was about 4 years between the time that I had the verse and had the chorus and had them both together in one song the way I thought they ought to be. Never would have picked that song to be the, first big Boston song or to be such a big hit as a single.
Message marked urgent.
We're here for you now on the NicolayLaw.com talk and text line at 1-877-794-1973.
Hey, this is Charlie out of Cudahy. I'd really like to hear the Temptations.
I know you want to leave me, but I
got you, Charlie.
All right, what's up?
If I gotta beg thee for your sympathy, I don't mind, cause you mean that
Billy.
much
Go
to me.
off.
If I gotta beg,
and you know it, he's gonna leave me, girl. You go, baby, proud of me,
baby, baby, ooh.
I hear it, Armin. I hear
Ludwig, you son of a gun. What are you doing this morning?
Oh, he loves it.
Armen, I can hear the singing voice. I can hear the
Billy sings, man.
Yeah. Billy?
Keep my Motown going this morning if you keep playing some Temptation.
Well, it is Motown week, right?
Let the Temptation sing it.
I almost hear this song and like after yesterday, your Packers defense goes 23-6, just dominating, suffocating the Vikings. I don't know if you caught it on the TV broadcast, Armen, because you're working. It was almost a Jeff Hafley with his assistant in the booth. Skull overarm clap on the Evan Williams interception. I feel like I'm singing this song about Jeff Hafley.
That didn't feel good yesterday if you're a defensive coordinator.
Don't leave us now because the New York Football Giants are clearing house. They're getting everybody out of there to make a run, potentially at Jeff Hafley. Or, I don't know, maybe Lane Kiffin, maybe Brian Day.
There's a lot of guys out there.
Ghosts are still sitting in there. They're not going to go offensive coach. Maybe they want to go completely different. Maybe they're going to go Mike McCarthy. I just hope they don't take Chef Hafley out of this kitchen.
Yeah.
In that Packers
I'm
defensive
with you.
coordinator.
Like I don't want that. And I'm wondering also, is it just us because we're so focused on what we have going on here that we think that they're definitely loading up to get Jeff Hafley? Or is there a lot of candidates out there? There's a lot of guys. Maybe Jeff Hafley is totally fine being here, and he's not on their top of their list.
I mean, that hire makes the most sense since Bill Parcells was their head coach because of the jersey ties for both of those guys. I mean,
I get it.
When you hear New York
Giants,
you actually should be thinking New Jersey first because that's where the stadium is, and that there's obviously a core of their fandom is right there in East Rutherford area, the Newark area, and a guy from there that has made his name not only in the NFL but also has been a head coach. That's a slam dunk for them. And the mindset of let's get away from having an offensive coach. Who was a defensive coach when he got there? Bill Parcells.
Oh, I can't wait for them to hopefully mess it up and not hire him.
Yeah, me too.
I sure hope so.
Let's go, Mars. Don't do it.
Because you are spot on, Luddy. Everything you laid out is why it makes so. I would have just copy and pasted what Luddy just said, the transcript.
Sure.
Now maybe clean it up and have ChatGPT, revise it and add in a couple of fancy
I'm not a
words.
journalism major, so.
But you're putting that as the cover letter. Like it on my resume if I'm Jeff Hafley.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Do you want to get back to the roots of who we are and who we've been? Who's Jersey's team? I'm Jersey's son.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here as your prodigal son to take this back to a winning organization. Now, I sure hope that they're wrong. I sure hope that they go and hire, I don't know, Calvin Shepard. Just because I want to see Detroit have to find a new defensive coordinator again. Like, that would be fun. Hire somebody random. I don't know. Eli Drinkowitz is a really nice coach over there at Missouri. Maybe that's who they end up hiring.
Maybe a veteran
Who
like
knows?
Mike McCarthy.
Very much could be.
Yeah.
I don't really care too much about that as long as it's not Jeff Hafley and he doesn't leave because, Armen, I love this defense. I love what we're watching so far. I know a lot has to do with, and so much of it is the guys on the field because Micah Parsons has changed the equation
Obviously.
that offenses have to try and solve when they're blocking and accounting for this pass rush. I know there's a lot of heat on Rashawn Gary. He got a little bit of heat yesterday, and the ball ended up in Isaiah McDuffie's chest. They had guys going in and out. Their quarterback of the defense out yesterday in Quay Walker, and maybe the most impressive defensive performance we've watched in this town in a long time.
So impressive, and it all started up front, obviously, in the dominance they showed. It also started at the beginning of the game when the Vikings started McCarthy. Now, that's part of it, too. That's what helps you have a great defensive day when the Vikings start that guy quarterback. But it was super awesome yesterday. You know what stinks for Rashawn is I don't think he gets anything in the stat sheet for that play. Am I wrong? Does he get a sack? He doesn't get a forced fumble.
Might get a pass defensed, but I don't believe so.
Like a forced bad throw to interception. Like that's tough for Rashawn.
Well, get a pressure.
Yeah, I get it. I mean,
get a pressure. Come on now, get a pressure.
Sort of met with derision from some fans who don't like that. Like,
he did get a pass defense.
Pass defense. All right, nice to see that he gets something like that because he sure deserves something.
A pair of quarterback hits.
He's taken a lot of arrows from Packer fans recently. I've seen him take some arrows for also the snap count. That he doesn't play as much as some other guys for the money he's making.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting stuff. But I thought he played well yesterday. I thought the entire D-line played well yesterday. Mike is obvious, but Devontae Wyatt was really good. You had everybody.
Wyatt was phenomenal with a pair of sacks too.
Yeah, obviously. So you had contributions from all over. It was the defensive coordinator's dream yesterday. There's no question about it. So that was the difference in the game yesterday.
I thought Isaiah McDuffie was phenomenal. He gets a game ball yesterday in the locker room, and coming into the contest, I'm driving up after celebrating a Badgers victory late into the night. People were celebrating in Madison.
Because it was kind of unexpected, obviously. I mean,
celebrating in Madison.
It was one of those, it's like, wow.
Wild Saturday night.
Feels like the old times again, you know?
There were enough. I also took a little walk on the field after post game just to see what was going on.
Soak it in, you and Dave Gasper. Yeah.
I couldn't tell you, Armen, have you ever drank 99 bananas?
2016 in Tempe, last time I did.
I don't think I ever had. What is it? It's a liquor, obviously.
99 proof. Yeah. And they got a bunch of different varieties, right? I think they got 99
apples, bananas, cherry.
cherry.
Yeah, name that fruit probably.
I want to say
I'm not in high school. So
lower budget shooters. I had not seen that many shooters on a surface than I did at Camp Randall Stadium on Saturday night. Made me very, very happy. Made me realize there were a lot of people having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There was a lot of content being shot on Barry Alvarez Field as well after the game. A lot of good TikToks and a lot of the good little boomerangs.
A lot of everyone doing content.
Jump up in the air.
Yeah. Can you take mine quick? Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me look at it. Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh no, we got to throw our arms up and back. So, well, a lot of that for a good 25 minutes. I do feel bad, and let's give a round of applause. Do we have this round of applause sound effect? Tip of the cap sound effect.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Let's give a tip of the cap to our senior band members at the University of Wisconsin Madison.
Doing a great job.
They got jobbed to their last two fifth quarters because the fans stormed the field and nobody was there for the fifth quarter.
Think about
They waited again.
Good point.
They waited again to do the fifth quarter.
That is
They're
tough.
sitting there. At one point, they finally just played varsity while everybody was on the field. It was a sweet moment and everyone was swaying.
We're starting.
I advocated they should have just played it sitting in their little spot and everybody on the field. The security personnel did not like that recommendation. They said, let's get the people off of the field, celebrate on the field longer. But hey, we appreciate you, band. Good work. You did a phenomenal job. And if that was your senior year, I apologize that you didn't get the last two fifth quarters, but we heard you and we love you. Best band that we've ever seen. Come on, that 2025 marching band in the University of Wisconsin. Congratulations. Great year.
They're clearly the best. We know that. That's tough having to wait through it, but I'm sure it was for good reason. Like they enjoyed it as much as anyone else. They've been starved for these type of moments in Badger.
Armen, they went from in October, the only cheers that they got were arguably the veteran of the game and when the fifth quarter started.
Sure, which is kind of like
November not being able to have a fifth quarter because people were celebrating the football team too much. Hey, that's a hell of a turnaround. That's a hell of a turnaround for Badger football in just 1 year. And, maybe we'll talk more about it throughout the backdrop of the year.
And the thing with the little shooters, the little bottles and everything, that's a great reminder that, you can still sneak these things into the stadium. And it's a great reminder that Badger students have less and less of excuses not to be part of this thing now. All right. Now you got two big wins. Now you can't give me the excuse, well, they want to go drink. They want to go party. No, that's not the answer. You can still get both done when you're in the stadium. So you're running out of excuses, Badger students, to not be in the stands. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. You got to be there. And you got to be
for what? For kickoff?
You got to be there for all of it. You got to support your boys. You got to
Armen,
support.
the streets around Camp Randall are a great old time. You would have trouble as a 20 whatever walking in there.
Have a great old time, then walk in, and don't give me we can't drink in the stadium. Yeah, you can. What are you talking about? How many 99? You just said all the bottles were in the stadium. All the 99 bananas bottles were in the stadium.
Well, it's because it's jacket weather and you're able to sneak it in a little bit easier.
Just saying, be part of what they're trying to build here. Be part of what they're trying to build here. Be part of what they're trying to do here. I mean,
they were
part of the tradition
again,
showing up late.
You clearly weren't watching. By the middle of the second quarter, the entire student section was full. The entire student section. Can't say that for the rest of the stands.
That's fine.
Can't say that for the rest of the stands.
That's good.
They stayed the entire game. It was 35 degrees. It's a Saturday night. Now, I know you guys don't go out and...
They're playing well. They're winning. It's 35 degrees. It's not that bad a night at Camp Randall. I don't like that. I mean, come on.
I don't understand.
Coming to the game.
Where is this coming from? Because you guys don't have a football team?
No, it's not. It's nothing to do with
I don't either.
I just don't get it, though. Like,
okay.
They were there. They weren't there early enough. They were having fun. And also, this is the part that you might not understand. You have to go so single file and as slow as humanly possible to get into that student section.
I do get
that. That is also the process is hell.
The easiest way out is to storm the field.
Yes, by far. Easiest way in or out is to storm the field. You're spot on. Like.
Yeah.
So like that again,
I understand the single file process. I'll concede that.
I'm very happy that you've been sitting on that for how long to be able to bust that out here at 8:37. They finally win 2 games, and we're gonna bitch and moan about the students not getting there by kickoff.
I just like to see him show some support. Yeah.
Will you say the same about Marquette students who may be at Buck Bradley's pregame and take it a little bit?
They're usually there for tip off. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And yes, I will. I will rip on them if they're not there supporting their team in good times and bad. And I have done that many a times.
Because Armen was the guy in the student section that was there 10 hours before.
That's
and you
right.
guys weren't here with me.
That's right.
You guys didn't fan hard enough like me.
You weren't with me.
So this is developed. He's been telling you how to fan for over 25 years. Potentially longer from when you were in high school, probably telling people how to fan in the student section while you were doing it on the bench, while you were telling everybody in the manager, hey, come on, why are they not cheering more?
That's right. You separate the real ones sometimes in certain situations. What's that?
Did R.A. Armen just advocate for sneaking booze into an institution of higher education?
No, but if that's an excuse, it's running. You're running out of one when I see those bottles in the field. I see how you can do it. You see those bottles in the field that you run out of excuses. That's my only point there. Run it out, man. Be there they want to be there for jump around. Let's be honest. Right?
They stuck around till the end of the game.
Well, why wouldn't you when you're about to win a big game and upset a team? So yeah, of course they're going to stick around for that one. We might have a chance to storm the field. So that you're not going to get a lot of credit for me. They stuck around to the end.
Armen's just mad because he would be in there
ridiculous
the earliest saying and then couldn't believe. You and Nick Brusewitz got to have this conversation. Because you and Nick Brusewitz would have been the guys standing there 2 hours before they let guys into the student section while everybody else was living their college life, having fun.
You can do both.
God bless.
Both. I did both.
I'm so sorry.
I did both. You can do both. They have 99 pickles. Is that true?
Yeah, they got a lot of different.
I got to try that.
Ooh, yeah, man. That'd be good in a Bloody Mary, I think.
Absolutely. Man, that is an old man take.
Old man. I'm bringing it to you, too.
Holy cow. Boy. That's Armen Sorry, and I'm Billy Schmidt. Andrew Ludwig might be the most fun guy on the He's definitely the most fun guy on the radio station.
Because he doesn't want
to. Fun this week.
That's for sure.
So you're only fun if you don't go to the game on time. I got it. No, that's okay. I got the rules now. You're cool if you don't go to the game on time.
Well,
man,
is the cool guy
there for kickoff? You want your team to be in the first quarter.
I'll just answer that question with a question.
Okay.
Is the coolest guy at the party the guy that gets there first? No BS on the game.
To believe there never was, but now
97.3 The Game. This is what's trending in Milwaukee now.
Last season, the Packers were 1-5 against the NFC North. They've now already eclipsed that win total this year.
McCarthy looks, fires left side, and it's intercepted on the overthrow. Intercepted on the play. Evan Williams, his second game in a row with an interception, and that will do it. Evan Williams delivers his second consecutive dagger.
Wayne Larrabee on the call. The Packers beat the Vikings 23-6 at Lambeau Field. Green Bay now 7-3-1 on the season. On the ground, Emmanuel Wilson ran for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Now it's a short week. The Packers get the Lions in Detroit on Thursday. Speaking of whom, Detroit, a winner 34-27 in overtime over the New York Giants, and the Bears beat the Steelers 31-28. I'm Doug Russell on the Game Radio Network.
The Packers beat the Vikings at Lambeau.
All 3 phases contributed to that win.
Safeties are high, soft coverage. Slot right, slot left. Snap McCarthy backpedal to the end zone. Under pressure. He's hit and sacked. Back at the 1-yard line. Wow. Devontae Wyatt. Yes.
Billy and Armen are basking in the glow of a border battle win all morning with you, right here on The Game.
On 1st and goal inside the 1. Love takes, gives up the middle, fighting his way. Second effort to the end zone. Emmanuel Wilson, touchdown, Green Bay Packers. And the Packers take the lead on a 1-yard touchdown run.
iHeartRadio. Soundtrack. Flashback.
Michelle Pfeiffer as a hard teacher? Sure.
1995's Dangerous Minds gave us a new look at the actress with an equally hard soundtrack to boot. Coolio helped kick off the film with Gangsta's Paradise.
For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
Price back deep to receive this punt from Daniel Whelan. High snap, he moves forward under no pressure, gets away a high floater. And this one allowed to hit on the 6, backs up sideways, touched by the Vikings. A scrum is on for the ball. If the Packers recovered its Green Bay football, it was touched first, I believe, by the return man Price. It's
And the
Green
Packers
Bay ball.
have recovered.
On the biggest play of the game, the Packers have it. Just outside the 5-yard line of Minnesota.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Carlos Santana as he reflects on some of his teachers.
We have good teachers, Miles Davis, B.B. King, Gino Puente, and the people who we learn, whether it's Herbie Hancock or Wayne or Buddy Rich, they don't think too much. You just go with your heart, with a lot of conviction and a lot of trust and a lot of energy, and we don't have time to doubt or second guess or anything like that. That's for somebody else.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Santana and all your favorite artists.
And Love takes, handoff up the middle. It's Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Packers cash in and take a 16-6 lead.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Rick Springfield to get some insight on his latest release, Rocket Science.
It's a guitar-based record for sure, and I love big hooks, and not a country record at all. It's a rock and roll record, but it does have some country elements.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from Rick Springfield and all your favorite artists.
Snap placement, kick is up, and it is good by Brandon McManus, and the Packers have a 20-6 lead with 12:13 to go in the game.
iHeartRadio is the easy-to-use app for music and radio. Download the free iHeartRadio app today.
40-yard field goal attempt, Brandon McManus. Daniel Whelan down on one knee. Matt Orzik on the snap. Here it is. Placement. Kick is up, and it is straight through. So a series of relatively short field goals for Brandon McManus today, and the Packers extend the advantage to 23-6 with 7:36 to go in the game.
iHeartRadio. Soundtrack. Flashback.
John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. Name a better duo. 1978's Grease had a soundtrack full of hit songs in their own right and a few created just for the film, like Hopelessly Devoted to You.
Hopelessly devoted to you.
For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
Hanging out behind the club on the weekend. Acting stupid, getting drunk with my best friend. I couldn't wait for
Like the shooters
the Warped Tour. I remember it's the first time that I
Saw her there in line, waiting to get in first, just to make sure she got the best seats, just to make sure she was ready to go for kickoff. And we still hung out and had a great time.
Yeah, spent $12 on a beer where I spent $10 on my case of Boxer. 877-794-1973.
I realized something. We agree too much. Now that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. I like agreeing and having the similar opinion, but everyone likes when we fight. We don't do it enough.
Well, I do like that. Yeah, Joe and Pewaukee said, I love when you guys argue. And then 608, you guys have been a hell of a duo. But the petty bickering shows it's an actual marriage.
You do have to have some of that. You have to bicker about some really dumb things once you're in that situation. And you step back and realize, man, that was a dumb thing to argue about.
I still think it emphasizes that fact to an absolute T. When Armen and I came in here, when we first started doing the 9 to noon with Kuhn extravaganza.
August of 23?
That sounds right. Yeah, that sounds right. But maybe July, a couple months in. maybe a few months in, Armen and I got into a good knockout, drag out debate about Luka Doncic. And I'm like, he's a 3-time first team All NBA. What are you talking about?
And I was
like,
proven wrong.
I just think he should win something. I'm like, well, maybe you should be watching. And we got so into it.
That was great.
It was a great warm up for the show.
Now I got to say, I remember that one, and I remember another big one about Ronaldo not starting in like a World Cup game. Now I got to say this.
Okay.
Those are the two ones that I think I was clearly wrong about Doncic. Now this is before he took his team to the conference finals. I said, Luka Doncic, what have you done? Was my famous line.
Okay.
Clearly,
I just want to see you win something. Is that too much to ask?
Clearly,
I think was one of the takes.
Clearly, since then he's done a lot in this league. All right, so I was wrong on that one, and he's been obviously. I didn't think I was going to have Nico Harrison agree with me, but he did. But I got to say, I think I was wrong on that one and right on the Ronaldo one. That's the way I look back on it. I think you should start Ronaldo in the World Cup if you're
that's right. Yes, that's what it was. And I came in with
hot take.
I came in with some wild. I'm like, well, look at his numbers. He's actually awful.
He said he wasn't healthy or didn't have good numbers against his team.
What, he can't run? He can't run 90 minutes? Damn it, they take a break in the middle.
Portugal wanted to use him in the second half or something.
I came in with some really obscure soccer deal.
We were fired up.
Really fired up. That's good. I totally
this
forgot about
this.
The
Ain't 2014 Ronaldo where he's got the crosser that leads to the tie in the World Cup against the U.S. That Ronaldo is far.
That guy's not coming through that door. He's not the same guy. You're
good,
wishing and hoping for something that's not there.
Right. And I said the same.
Right.
I said the same thing about that one that I'm saying about the 2017 World Series. I said I don't care if Kershaw's on short rest. That's Clayton Kershaw. You start him in Game 7, and they started you Darvish. I said I don't care if Ronaldo's old and got a bad matchup. You're Portugal, and you got Ronaldo. You got to have him in on the pitch in a World Cup game match, whatever.
That's great.
So
we got to make sure that our best knockout dragouts are no longer not on the air.
They got to be on the air. But the problem is that's what happens when it's organic with us.
That's true.
It's not fake. It's authentic. And sometimes that happens in our regular conversation. So we have to have the wherewithal to try and run tape at least when we do this.
That's a good point.
Maybe I can start
point.
recording it or something.
Maybe
like
we
that.
should be like individuals who, because Dylan and Madison said, is it not embarrassing for storming the field after beating two teams that are barely in the top 25? Because it is. Well, listen, it's like there was a lot of filming of content on the field storm. A lot of content being shot. Also a different day and age. I would say it this way, Armen, and I don't know, but I don't know where you're going to fall in on this.
Yeah.
Is it not embarrassing? Let's just cut the conversation right there. You can put a lot of different things that have included 2025 Badgers football that the biggest Badgers supporters would add right after. Is it not embarrassing?
That's a great point.
Is it not embarrassing to, in your 11th game on the season, for the first time, have your first 100-yard rusher? Like, is it not embarrassing to have a punter in a victory have the same amount of passing yards as your not one but two quarterbacks that played in the game? Yes. Like, so there has been, is it not embarrassing to be shut out in back-to-back home games? Sure. So like, if we're going to judge it on the scale of where you had been at one point, sure, no doubt about it, it would be. But let's grade it with the scale that you're in. They were staring at a 2-10 season after being shut out and being beaten by an aggregate score of 70-0.
There you go. That's embarrassing. Now that
70-0 in back-to-back games. No, well, at least they were two games in this one.
Yeah, oh, gotcha.
Oh, by the way, Jeremiah Love just scored again. You see it. By the way, like, there's a lot of things that have been embarrassing.
Right.
This very low on the totem pole. This would be right there at the absolute bottom of the embarrassing chart. While I agree, if you are going to be one of the best programs in the sport, you're not going to storm. However, you're not right now. You had 2 wins and we're definitely looking at 2-10 and then quickly flipped it around. Also, Armen, 2-1 since the team vest has been eradicated from the wardrobe.
Maybe
Not
that was the
saying, just
difference.
saying.
No more vest.
Not
maybe.
saying, just saying. People are counting the numbers.
I think it matters. I think
People
it
are
matters.
counting the
I
numbers.
think as a fresh start, it matters. Yeah. I mean, Maryland, Iowa, those were embarrassing. I don't think celebrating a win is necessarily embarrassing. I'm going to also say this. You got to add in, they beat a ranked team. It was the Bielema factor. You have to add in the Brett Bielema factor.
That's true,
the
too.
fact that you went out and beat him on near field and all that stuff, and the Brett and the now that makes a big difference in celebration there.
I don't know. That team they were hyped up, that Illinois team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that adds a totally different factor to why you're celebrating in that situation.
Yeah, Dylan said maybe it's just my championship expectations for Green Bay. I don't know, man. Social media ruins everything. All of those can be fair. Again, championship expectation, no doubt. There's nothing about this Badgers football team that screamed championship expectations.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah.
This one is different. Now, going forward, we're on the same street.
Yeah.
We don't want to be storming against Illinois and Washington. However,
what about the X though? Well, it's a road game.
It's a road game, but those boys will storm the other sideline to go take that axe back. We got hour 4 coming up after this.
Stay tuned.
You do like to grab attention.
No BS. We'll be back in just a moment. The sweet sounds of a Packers victory.
From Daniel Whelan, high snap, he moves forward under no pressure, gets away a high floater. And this one allowed to hit on the 6, backs up sideways, touched by the Vikings. A scrum is on for the ball. It's
And the
Green Bay
Packers.
ball. And Love takes, handoff up the middle. It's Wilson to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Packers cash in and take a 16-6 lead. Taking the toss, McCarthy
There
looks
we
at
go.
throw, hit it, sack, back inside the 10. Micah Parsons, second sack of the game. He's got 10 sacks this season. Addison split to the right, play action. McCarthy back to throw. Here comes the rush. McCarthy shovels it over the middle.
Intercepted.
Diving interception at the 41-yard line.
McDuffie.
Isaiah McDuffie. And the charge is on to the north end zone as the Packers celebrate the turnover. Here's the snap. McCarthy looks, fires left side, and it's intercepted on the overthrow. Intercepted on the play. Evan Williams, his second game in a row with an interception, and that will do it. Evan Williams delivers his second consecutive dagger.
We're reacting to the border battle win all day on the game.
Looking back at the world of sports, it's the iHeartRadio Weekend Sports Time Capsule.
What's happening, fellow sports nuts? It's Andy West, and I'm here to take you on a journey back to this week in sports history. We'll start off way back in 1934. The Detroit Lions played their first traditional Thanksgiving home game and lose to the Chicago Bears 1916. Another first that day, CBS Radio does its first national broadcast of an NFL game. This week in 1961, Detroit's Gordie Howe becomes the first player in NHL history to play in 1,000 regular season games. This week in 1987, San Francisco 49er Joe Montana completes an NFL record of 22 consecutive passes. The current record is a tie. Ryan Tannehill, Phillip Rivers, Marcus Mariota, and Nick Foles all have 25 passes in a row. This week in 1998, Miami's Dan Marino becomes the first player to throw 400 career touchdown passes, passing for 255 yards and 3 touchdowns in the Dolphins' 30-10 win against New Orleans. This week in 2010, Cam Newton passes for 3 touchdowns and runs for another, leading number 2 Auburn back from a 24-point deficit for a stunning 28-27 victory over number 9 Alabama. Auburn trailed 21-0 before it even picked up a first down. And this week in 2015, the Philadelphia 76ers lose to the Celtics for their 28th consecutive loss, the longest losing streak in major U.S. professional sports. They would win their next game to snap the streak.
And that's just some of what happened this week in sports history. The Weekend Sports Time Capsule on iHeartRadio.
Now, a year in rock spotlight. 1974.
In April, Diamond Dogs is a #1 album in the UK for David Bowie. It goes to #5 in the US.
Rebel, rebel, you torn your dress. Rebel, rebel, your face is a mess. Rebel, rebel, how could they know? Hot tramp, I love you so.
In June of 1974, Chicago funk band Rufus, featuring lead singer Shaka Khan, score a #3 hit with Tell Me Something Good. UK supergroup Bad Company have a #1 album and a top 5 single, Can't Get Enough.
I can't get enough, enough of your love. I can't get enough, enough of your love. I can't
Dutch hard rock band Golden Earring have a number 13 hit with the single Radar Love.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more from 1974. Coming up.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Rod Stewart to reflect on how supportive his family was from the very beginning.
To become a singer, a rock singer in the 60s, you know, it was uncharted territory. And nobody knew how long it was going to last. I think my dad was secretly a little worried about my future. Apparently my elder brother told me once that he would say, I haven't said anything to little Roddy, but I'm a bit worried about his future, what he's going to be doing. But it's so important. I mean, they all encouraged me. Both my brothers chipped in to help me buy a good acoustic guitar. So I'm deeply indebted to them.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Rod Stewart and all your favorite artists.
What you waiting for? Let's go. Make sure to make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app so you can listen to us anytime, anywhere. Wisconsin's home for sports and stuff. We are the game.
Tucker Ashcraft lines up in the backfield. Lance Mason motions to the right, hand off. Darion Dupree, 15-20. Dupree, 25, breaks the tackle, 30, 35, 40. Darion Dupree to the 50, in the clear, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Wisconsin! Darion Dupree, 84 yards.
Do you build me up?
Ooh, they let you down to then build you back up. A little inverse for the Badgers in 2025. It's no BS on the game. Billy and Sarian with you. Andrew Ludwig on the other side. You can talk to our friend Andy at 877-794-1973. I'm going to start calling you Andy. I heard too many people start calling you Andy, especially Alex in the building, and it sounds way better than Luddy. Just because,
really,
I think it's better. I think Andy is better because I see somebody that is wanting to be super professional, but still like, is it almost 5 o'clock so we can get out of here and go have a cold drink? Like that's what Andy to me sounds like. Luddy to me sounds like we're forcing this guy and like we're trying to throw some random funny nickname on you. Andy to me is exactly who you are right now.
Luddy has stuck for whatever reason. You want to know why I'm no longer Andy Ludwig?
Because of the Badgers' old offensive coordinator?
I was about to start my break into college sports, and I literally decided there's already an Andy Ludwig, and of course, he's the Badgers' offensive coordinator.
Thought that was going to hold you back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So at that point, I made the decision to go by Andrew. And when you move to a new place, nobody really knows what you were called prior.
Oh yeah, no. Then you can go with a full clean slate.
So Andrew became the thing in summer of 2016 at Arizona Christian University. And it's funny, when I was back at Whitewater, we'd go recruit kids at New Berlin Eisenhower where I coached. And Coach Kern would be like, oh, hey, Andy. And the rest of the coaches would be like, what the?
Who is this? Who's he talking to? That's awesome. Because I did make the kind of similar conscious decision when I first started really like working in a professional environment.
Oh, yeah.
That I was going to start calling myself Bill.
You're a pro. Bill.
Well, it says Bill Schmidt Radio.
Bill Schmidt.
At Bill Schmidt Radio. That was when I developed that. That's when I fired up the new email address because I may or may not have gotten a virus and gotten hacked on the other one, so I had to start something new.
That'll happen.
And I just after like 4 or 5 years, I realized that I'm definitely not a Bill.
Don't run from who you are.
That is definitely my father. Like the old guy that says the dad that's trying to be cool with all the kids, like, hi, Mr. Schmidt. That's my father's name. Yeah. That was actually the moment that I had where I'm like, yeah, I'm probably too goofy and dumb
to be called Bill.
Don't
run from who you are.
I'm probably far too goofy to not be called Billy.
I was going to call you Will, though, wasn't I once? I'm going to call you Willie. I'm going to start calling you Will.
That'll go well.
Willie is a wild. If you call Willie, that's a wild one.
Yeah, that'll go well. That'll go well.
Will, what's up?
All right, I'm done. That's it.
877-794-1973. Armen over on the other side called the Badgers kids and students soft, running from the grind.
I'm just
disappointed in them not getting there. Our friend, this is Steve on the talking text line with a very fair, good retort and one that I wish I would have went with. How about how many Brewers fans show up in the second inning or later at American Family Field?
Yeah, I don't like that either. I mean,
Armen is chastising those two.
I don't. If I've been that guy because of whatever tailgates or whatever, or like
because
you
of because, no. Let me.
Okay.
I'm not going to talk for you, but I just want to ask, when you say for other reasons or another, what you are saying is the people you are with and went with didn't want to go in early and you didn't want to cause a conflict.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
Absolutely.
got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I was in line.
The reality is I'm not always there on time. Sometimes there are time constraints and there are legitimate reasons to be late sometimes. But less of those occur, I think, when you're in college. I just think that's the reality of it. Now, that being said, I don't enjoy that either. I like being there for first pitch.
Yeah.
And frankly, it would annoy me when it's like I'm with the group. They don't want to. It's the second inning already. Come on, guys. Aren't we going to watch the game? No, Armin. We're here for so and so's tailgate. We're here for the birthday. We're here for the bachelor party.
We haven't even brought the cake out.
We're
yet.
still playing. We're still
sing happy birthday.
Yeah, we're still chucking a watermelon in the parking lot or whatever. Okay, great. Yeah.
I mean, in case of a majority of the students, it could have been, hey man, you should have seen me running the table in beer pong.
I know it. I get it.
When you are cooking, you don't want to stop. And I'll tell you, as somebody that has not had a whole lot of days where I was absolutely feeling it in beer pong, better flip cup player than I was beer pong player.
Same.
The last thing you want to do is get off that table.
Sure.
You never leave when you're on a heater.
Thank you, Andy. It's like when you're sitting at the blackjack table and you're just rolling. The last thing you want is for the guy that's driving to say, "Hey man, it's getting kind of late. Are you ready? Are you gonna wrap it up?
Boy, you're up pretty good here. You should just walk with this. We can get going.
So you're up, right? You want to get going?
Either that or just double down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You want to go all in on this one? No, I don't.
How long are you planning on playing?
So
how long you?
I appreciate it, but there's the feeling of, listen, there's somebody else making this. Armin's not going to be a fan of that. Trying to make this and get himself in.
Just saying how I feel about the situation.
Can we hit this? I love this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
From Jeremy and Oshkosh. How far removed do we have to be away from Brett Bielema previously coaching the Badgers for it to no longer be a story, though?
Oh, great question. Because you can't never. I mean, are you kidding? That's like the council. How long is it going to be when we're just over council being a Cub?
Never.
You don't think in 15 years? I mean, we're not going to be still booing. Like, come on, let's be honest. Ask Marquette fans how long it took for we still talk about Crean. Now it's more positive, but for a while, Crean left.
Only because he has
he's failed everywhere else and has been like, okay, Marquette was my spot.
Glazed Marquette at every opportunity. I feel like
that's what it is, more, Billy. It's more that he's endeared himself to fans by talking about them. He failed at Georgia. I don't think he totally failed at Indiana if you go back and actually look at the record, but that's for neither here nor there. He did win a Big Ten title, but that is neither here nor there. What the standards are and all that stuff.
I had no clue about that, so I appreciate you adding that. Thank you.
However, yeah, it's more about how he's talked and endeared himself to it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Buzz did a little bit of that, but it was like not the same level as Crean.
Well,
Crean's engendered a lot more reaction from people one way or the other, just based on his personality. And that's kind of when you're it's like when Moss mooned the Packer fans. Well, didn't moon. Disgusting act.
Mm-hmm.
You do something that extreme, Vikings fans love you. Packers fans going to hate you. You know, it's that more of that polarizing feel. So,
well, and I also think, Armin, to that point, like, it depends on if you want to get back into the graces. I don't think Brett Bielema wants to.
That's the key. He doesn't care to.
So, and I think he relishes the fact that his name gets brought up and it's a part of the conversation. He wouldn't hire so many former Badgers if it didn't. So, like, I think again, I love the petty and I love the rivalries. I want the Badgers to have a bigger rivalry with Illinois, and with Brett Bielema right there, it will be a legitimate one until he no longer is the coach. I also think this is the part of it and why it was probably more stressed this time around than the last, because of the last time Brett brought a team to Barry Alvarez Field. I don't believe it was called Barry Alvarez Field at the time.
I don't.
Or they had just named it Barry Alvarez Field.
Because they did it during the middle of a season. So yeah, I don't remember exactly.
He was the opponent, or his team was the opponent on Paul Christ's final day coaching the Wisconsin Badgers. They blew out Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
They out Wisconsin was the way that a lot of us talked about it. And Matt LePay, I thought, encapsulated it very, very well when we kind of went back and forth about it. And that day, 3 years ago, It was in the same season where Cam Ward came in as a transfer from Incarnate Word.
Yep.
And I think put up 400 total yards of offense against Wisconsin. People are fed up, done. They're like, who is this D2 transfer coming in here running roughshod over us? Well, he ultimately would be a number 1 overall pick. But that's neither here nor there.
That's funny, isn't it?
Hilarious. Then 3 weeks later, you get drummed by Illinois. Paul's relieved the next day. And all these seniors, like Daryl Peterson, who has 3 sacks this weekend, Ben Barton, who's been on the team this whole time. Man, Aaron Witt is a great example. Dude that's lived a lot of life at Wisconsin. Sadly lost his mom due to a long battle with cancer while he was playing for the Wisconsin Badgers. Has gone through 3 different head coaches. All of them for their senior day to be against Illinois, where all this turmoil in their Wisconsin career, you could say started with that game, but that was the crescendo moment.
That's
for
a good point. Yeah, came to a head.
For it to be brought all the way full circle, I thought that was an incredible moment. And when you think of the entire story of the last 3 years, which will be a massive valley in the all-time story of Wisconsin football, that's a cool way for this thing to wrap up, roll into next year, favorable 2026 schedule.
It is. It's a lot more palatable, Billy.
Hopefully this all hinges upon and is added to if you go and win the Axe this week in Minnesota. And this can be a hell of a springboard. And I thought that part of it, to Jeremy's question, it won't be as much of a conversation probably going forward if Wisconsin's better. But right now, out of the 2 programs that came in to this season, one was preseason top 12 in the country. That was Illinois. One team was a top 10 team in the country at one point this year. That was Illinois. You went out and beat them. That's why I think it was more of a conversation and why Bielema's name is more brought up into it. It probably will be down in different years, and going forward, it will maybe be made less of a thing about.
Sure.
Like Council, after you got the 1-up in the playoffs, maybe some of the frustration will back up, but it'll absolutely be either number 1 or 2 things you talk about when their name surfaces.
Especially if he's with a rival, and you consider Illinois a rival, obviously. They're wearing that eye. It wouldn't be the same if Council was with the Marlins, but he's with the Cubs. It wouldn't be the same if when Bielema was in Arkansas. I mean, it was fresher, but it wasn't the same. You didn't see Arkansas. You didn't play them. It wasn't a rival. But with Illinois, it absolutely is. So, yeah, I totally agree, Billy. I think it's partly that proximity, the team, and the attitude and the kind of feel around it, especially if he has success there. It's going to be saltier as well. Josh in the Falls, so true. One of my favorite parts about UW winning some games is now I get to hear LePay cook again. Damn, I missed that. Right. So true. You're talking about you're talking about one of the greatest gifts that we've had on the shelf. Haven't been able to open because we need those moments for him to get the great calls. Now, it's always great to hear Matt LePay call a game no matter what, right? But we haven't had those great, exciting, positive team moments that are so good when he calls them, right? I mean, that's just awesome.
Luddy, if you could you pull up the Charlie Jarvis sack on the blocked punt? It's in the, okay, hold on. I got it right here, actually.
I can't.
Because this is one of the coolest sounds when you talk about a guy from the state of Wisconsin playing for the Badgers, having himself a ridiculous moment for Wisconsin. And if you want to talk about somebody cooking, Matt LePay on this particular call Saturday night.
He gets drilled inside the 15-yard line. Charlie Jarvis gets to the punter. First down, Wisconsin, deep in Illinois territory.
Yeah, that's absolutely electric. I mean, the way he says Charlie Jarvis, just the way he's excited, it's electric.
Do you want to hear the whole thing now?
Yes. Roll it.
Crimmins on to punt, line of scrimmage, the Illinois 28-yard line.
I don't think it's going to go well for Crimmins.
At the 31 of Wisconsin.
Good preview.
Snap is low. Crimmins trying to dig it out of there. He gets drilled inside the 15-yard line. Charlie Jarvis gets to the punter. First down, Wisconsin, deep in Illinois territory.
Oh,
that's so good.
That's good for the soul.
That's like the dessert spread on Thanksgiving right there. That's just candy to the ears, man, right there. Fantastic.
You want one more? How about
Roll it,
Daryl
baby.
Peterson on senior day?
Come on now.
Getting himself his third sack of the day.
Shotgun snap. Badgers sending 4. Altmaier one pump under pressure, and down he goes. It's Daryl Peterson once again. They'll mark at the 28-yard line of Illinois.
Oh, that is good.
It's so good.
That is good for the soul hearing LePay cook a little bit. Because when he got to give the call for the touchdown against Oregon, I said it. You could feel the
cathartic.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was very cathartic. It felt very good to be able to call a couple of victories and be able to flex the muscle a little bit, the vocal muscle. That's a good one to be able
And
to
Matt's,
enjoy.
like I said, always great no matter what, but it's like having Micah as a pass rusher. If they don't
That's fair,
pass,
yes.
you don't get to see his true talent, his true gift. And there's where we saw Matt LePay's true gift. Absolutely. Well, that and handling Butch off the air. Those are the two gifts that
No
he
doubt
has.
about it,
The
yeah.
two big challenges. John and Fondy, Bielema left because he, quote, couldn't compete for a natty. He failed at Arkansas, won't win one at Illinois. Council's completely different. He left to direct a rival. BB went from a full-sized upgrade, but left for the SEC. Yeah, he also left for a lot more money. And the reality is, I ain't going to feel bad for Brett Bielema, Bill Belichick. I won't feel bad for him either. Brett Bielema, I mean, he's making what, $7.5 million at Illinois.
he's got good cash,
So if you make $150,000 a week, I ain't feeling bad for you. I think that's about the math. I
don't think anybody's feeling bad for him. I think there is some
happy to beat him, basically.
Very happy to beat
You know,
him.
that's
very
what it is.
happy to beat him. I also think the thought that you can't win a national championship at Wisconsin, so you're going to go to Arkansas, like that would be the one where tomato. Like I don't exactly know where we thought that. Maybe he did think the victory
SEC,
Tyson chicken was going to take him to a title there in Arkansas, but maybe Lane Kiffin could talk to him about those
Well,
possibilities.
he wanted to blame the Big Ten for the fact that his teams weren't going there. That's what it really came down. That was the 14 playoff, right? It was only 4 back then.
Oh, very much so.
And he wanted to say, look, hey, they're going to let us in. So I have to go to an SEC school and win.
It was still 2. That was still the BCS at
I'm
that
trying
point.
to remember.
Yeah, 14 was when they changed. He left
Correct.
in 12.
Correct.
Yeah, so it was just before the playoff came in.
But it was about to change, yeah. So
and the best thing was he still wasn't going to win the SEC at Arkansas. That's I think.
Well,
the
obviously.
Do you remember his last game? It was a Thanksgiving Day game, and they told him as he's walking off the field, "Hey, Brett, you know what? Why don't you go coach with like Bill Belichick and get yelled at by some defensive lineman coming up
said,
here?
why don't you get my
into a
vial
fight
ready?"
in the hallway?
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
I don't go back and look at that.
Allegedly.
He's like, why don't you go get my check ready, my buyout? Then?
Allegedly. It was like a big time defensive lineman too. He got into it with not Vince Wilfork. I think somebody else.
I'll look it up.
All alleged.
Obviously.
Sure.
877-794-1973. 608.
And Brett's, of course.
Bielema all in blue made me think of Violet from
Willy Wonka. You're turning blue. You know what? You're turning violet. I didn't listen. I was going to try. And it's like, I'm not going with the fat joke here. I'm not doing that. But, okay. 608 did it.
My dad hit me with it right away. He's like, hey, he looks like he's 5X over there. I'm like, Dad, you have not been watching a whole lot of.
But he lost 60 pounds?
He said he lost 60 pounds before the season.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he did.
I hope, listen, somebody that is
You can hardly even notice it.
As somebody that is also on his own weight loss journey, it can be a difficult thing.
I understand. I don't want
for him.
I want to be very careful.
We're
how I
pulling
talk.
for him. Yeah. But those big coaching shirts do give the I've given up appeal.
Well, I already made fun of the punter for the Vikings for being a big old boy.
That's true. You are fat shaming quite a bit here this morning.
And the weird thing is, it started by me seeing how thin Corey Linsley is now, because he took a picture with Nagler and man, Banky, that's wild too.
Oh man,
listen, I body positive all the way, man.
877-794-1973. He's body positive. I'm positive you're gonna love everything that's coming out of Armen Sarian's mouth about the Green Bay Packers on the other side, and Jordan Love's mouth. You're gonna hear from the quarterback on the other side. It's no BS on the game.
As the Badgers win it 27-10.
Miss an hour of no BS?
Honestly, Billy, I don't think you'd miss it.
You can find all of the shows in podcast form. Just search No BS on the iHeartRadio app. The Packers win the border battle.
McCarthy looks, fires left side, and it's intercepted on the overthrow. Intercepted on the play. Evan Williams, his second game in a row with an interception. Evan Williams delivers his second consecutive dagger.
Stay with us all day as we celebrate the win with you right here on The Game.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Elton John to talk about performing live.
Going on stage was when I could show off and be comfortable. And you know, I was always a bit timid off stage. And the stage gave me an outlet. And you'll find that with many performers, whether they be dancers, actors, singers, musicians. They have the outlet on stage to become the person they're not off stage. And I think that's what eventually led to my troubles, along with the drugs and the drink, is that the person who was fast becoming popular as Elton John and becoming, you know, the number one rock star in the world had kind of escaped from the person off stage, and the balance was completely off kilter. And the more I became successful, the harder I worked, and the less time I concentrated on being normal or trying to be kind of normal. But people who knew me privately were shocked, I think, at what I was doing off stage. Rather, you know, they knew what I was going to do on stage, but off stage they were shocked and disappointed.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Elton John and all your favorite artists.
America is back, standing tall, looking to the 80s with courage, confidence, and hope.
Saving energy saves you money. Whether you switch to Energy Star light bulbs, install Energy Star windows, or add extra insulation. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Here are the top Michael Jackson songs you've thumbed up. Number 3, The Way You Make Me Feel. Number 2, Beat It. Number 1, Billie Jean.
She just a girl, that I'm the one, but the chair is not my son.
Hear more from Michael Jackson and similar artists now. Search for Michael Jackson on iHeartRadio. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free.
Ball to the 12-yard line of the Vikings. Hawkinson in motion to the right, faking the toss. McCarthy.
There we go.
Hit it, sack. Back inside the 10. Micah Parsons, second sack of the game. He's got 10 sacks this season.
iHeartRadio. Here are the top Foreigner songs that you've thumbed up.
Number 3,
Hot Blooded.
I show you loving like you never knew. That's why I'm hot-blooded. Check it and see. Feel the fever burning inside of me. Come on, baby, do you do more than dance?
Number 2,
I Want to Know What Love Is.
Change this lonely life. I want to know what love is. I want you to show me.
Number 1,
Cold as Ice.
You're as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice our love.
Hear more from Foreigner and similar artists now.
Search for Foreigner on iHeartRadio.
All your favorite music,
All your favorite stations.
all free.
We're going to get him right up here for a field goal. Right up here for a field goal. Fly out, boy. Why do we miss practice? Why do we miss it? For the love of Pete! What's going on out there?
You're rather,
What?
fact.
beautiful girl with a great body.
Is that Christmas Vacation, Andy?
No, that would be Caddyshack.
Caddyshack. Okay.
Right before they, do the naked pool scene. And he drops the line of, hey, you're rather attractive for a beautiful girl with a great body. As she's already showed up at his house, and I think he already knows what's about to happen.
Yeah.
I've used it. It works.
It's
got to be the right situation. And,
kind of like the naked man they tried in How I Met Your Mother. He said it works 3 out of 5 times. 3 out of 5 times it did not work. A couple of times it definitely.
Or 60% of the time it works every time.
That's still 3 out of 5.
That was. Well, I'm just thinking of the 60. What was the line from Anchorman?
60%? No.
It was Sex Panther, the cologne. Make bits of real Panther because it's good. It's just, I remember it's my.
We let the little one watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Come on now.
It's a choice.
Really?
I mean, he's
Is
2.
it, is it bad?
I mean,
There's no nudity.
There's no nudity. There's definitely some parts that would be like,
risque, like off color.
Yeah. Probably when the
when
the policeman walks in and the wife shakes the hand and then goes right back to the there's some things that might be, but like all of that right over my man Carson's head.
Yeah, I was gonna say
everything for the little man. Big fan of the dog chasing the squirrel through the house. I'm telling you, we watched that scene
over and over and over
100 times.
Yeah.
I watched the squirrel again. Okay. All right. There's probably a part after here that you're probably not supposed to watch, or the fact that, I like that scene as well.
Mm-hmm.
And it then prolongs the fact that we get to watch the movie longer.
Sure.
And it's not Bluey. That was a good win.
Well,
but
if you need
animals doing funny things from whether it's your algorithm on
Twitter,
X, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, it always brightens your day, whether you're 2 or 82. Animals doing funny things will always be a winner.
What's that account? Butengebeiden? Whatever that long German name.
Totally,
whatever it is, you've seen it. I mean, that's a great account to follow for animals doing funny things. I mean, that's just part of the process. Billy, if you need to introduce them to Ernest Saves Christmas, the classic from '88, I've got the VHS, just so you know. If you need to borrow that VHS, you just come to me.
I appreciate it.
Got a couple of boxes for my parents. They're like, okay, you have room for this now. You can take these boxes out of our house. A lot of it was old VHS games on tape. I love going through those. And a lot of it was my old trophies, Billy, which was not a big box. Not a huge box of my old trophies. Got a couple of those. Got the free throw.
I like that you showed it off, though.
Greenfield Park and Rec free throw champion. I got that one. I had my Pinewood Derby participation. I don't know why I'm keeping these. I really don't.
I was horrible in the Pinewood Derby.
I was terrible. I was terrible in the Pinewood Derby.
And I felt so bad for my dad because
he had a plan. Yeah, he thought he had ideas and everything like that.
Oh my God. Machinist, the journeyman machinist.
I'm gonna
he
give
thought
you
he had that thing dialed in.
Aerodynamics. And
he had weights put through.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
I'm going to show you what I do here.
I'm pretty sure if we didn't take last place, took second to last place.
I was right there.
Like, I don't even know we finished the race. Like, son of a gun, car just stopped like halfway through. Yeah. I think I got an I.
Incomplete.
I got the incomplete.
Dad, look what you did to my grades.
I guarantee, though, that was just based on like how loose the wheels were or something like that. It was just completely
something like that.
So that was good. But if you need that, Billy, that's good. Lena, I was trying to get Lena looking at the football more because she likes, balls.
Like in the football?
So I was trying to get like, look, they're throwing the ball and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And now I yell hike and she runs through my legs. That's pretty exciting.
That's awesome.
That's as close as we got so far.
That's when you start catching on.
Yeah.
That's when you start knowing it's happening.
Right. So that's pretty good stuff right there.
We had a 608 texter. We had a couple of other people ask us about this earlier on.
Yeah.
Mike and Merrill said McIntosh and the UW are lucky we're in the Big Ten. If we were in the SEC, the 2 field storms would cost $500,000 each. $1 million total. 608 said, hey guys, always a great show. Well, thank you very much. That's very nice of you to say.
Thank you.
Maybe you can address how Wisconsin is avoiding the NCAA fines supposedly levied on schools when fans rush the field, or is that process already a thing of the past? I'm not positive. I frankly don't know, and I definitely should have more information on it. I don't believe they would have been as okay and welcoming for the folks if they knew they were going to, and they probably would have made some announcements because it was pretty clear. Like, it was pretty clear and obvious right around the 3-minute mark, when the whole student section went 25 rows down.
You might get
nobody
the indication.
left. They all just started condensing down. Like, it was pretty clear they were coming onto the field. If they knew that they were going to get charged for it, I think they probably would have made an announcement or something.
In the SEC, your first offense is 100,000. Second offense is 250. Subsequent offense is 500 after that. In the ACC, it's a 50,000 for your first, 100 for your second. Big 12, 50,000. They fined Arizona State for their field storming.
Yep.
According to this, the Big 10 rules are privately reprimanded. Or the storm.
So
we're they'll call and say,
we'll deal with you.
We're going to give you, we're not going to let you know the rules. We're going to just make you scared of it. We're not going to let you know the consequences.
Do you think they have to pay more because there was more people on the field for the second one?
I think it's
does weather have a part of it?
It's a fun tax. It's like paying for the bottle at the club. You know you can get that for cheaper at Pick and Save.
You know, you can get four of them.
But you're not having as much fun.
Maybe 10.
Yeah, there's no. Well, I'm not going to say, but you know what it is.
Not what?
I mean, you're paying. Well, you're not paying for the drinks. You're paying for space. That's what they would always.
Yeah, you're paying for the spot to hang
say.
out, maybe sit down a little bit.
Well, I'm not paying for any of it, but the reality is some people
shoulder rub.
Those juices are nice. They give with you, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Oh, yeah, they do. They give you like a thing of orange juice.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It happened one time thanks to a guy we used to work radio with. That one time I experienced that situation. And I thought that was
You were there when you guys were hanging out with Snooki?
I was there. I was there famously. You've heard the story. Bill's told the story.
What year would this have been? You were there at Snooki night?
Now, Bill tells the story a little differently than when it happened, but pretty much accurate. I have the picture. Didn't you ever see my picture?
I have never seen the
I
picture
will
from
produce
this
it. I will produce it. I have it somewhere. I will produce the picture. When we got
the big unit, and Snooki all hanging out at the club. Now, I don't know. You didn't get a picture with her.
Yes.
Oh, you did get it with her. Okay.
He did me a big solid.
That's
there.
right, because he set it up. She came over, hanging out. You guys were talking Packers.
We had to go in her area to do it.
Okay, but then you guys are a big Packer fan. We were talking Packers. She's asking about this, asking about that, asking about Aaron Rodgers.
Talk Packers. I don't think she knew what we were saying at that point, but
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. You got to fire up. That picture.
I will find it. I've got it.
So they're gonna call and figure out how much they're gonna charge you.
Yeah,
that's basically what the deal is.
Okay,
sounds good.
Yeah,
it sounds like when you get a bill in the mail, you kind of have an idea of what it might be.
Sure.
But you're waiting for that, potential new water tank coming in from to figure out exactly how much it's gonna be.
Well, we have an estimate, but I don't know what it's gonna be.
At the end of the day, labor goes up, a couple of parts. We don't know exactly what we might encounter in there.
When you go to the auto mechanic and he's like, "Well,
could be more."
I don't know what it's gonna be. When I open it up and it goes, "Never seen this before."
Hey, you have.
Oh, that's 1,000 right there.
You're looking at it right now.
This problem's a little worse than we thought.
Okay.
Oh boy. Well, when's the last time you got that filter?
I don't know, Gene. It's been a minute.
Yeah, Gene. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Only bought the car last week.
Listen, Carl, I don't know when I got the Johnson rod looked at. I mean, they could be making up anything.
Looking at who's Johnson?
Anything. They could be making up anything, and you don't. What are you gonna do?
I think my favorite is when there always is gonna be the. I've actually never seen this.
I've never seen this before.
That doesn't sound good.
Or like when
that sounds expensive.
When you get maybe let's say somebody's working on the house.
Let's say.
Boy, I never see here's the tough part. The way the wall is here. Come touch the wall.
I don't
sure. You can leave it, as is. You can leave it if you want.
There's water behind it. Let me tell you.
You might have the water leaks in and you might have what then you have a bigger drywall bill. Oh, okay. Well, you got me. You need the wheel bearings in the car. Well, yeah, because you might run off the road and die. I get it. All right. So just get, what am I supposed to say? If I knew what he was talking about, I wouldn't have brought my car in.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be here right now. If I knew what I was doing, I would be doing it.
So the Big Ten does not let you know how much it's going to cost because they want you to know
that's
that.
That's pretty awesome. I actually think that's
respect that. Actually,
quite gangster.
Yeah, it is.
You're going to wait on us. We'll tell you how much we're going to send. We'll send you a bill in the mail.
We're going to make you sweat it out. That's what it is.
Let's flip this all around.
It's around there. But
we're going to wait, and you're going to have to wait for us to tell you.
Also, I think they like having the decision to say, you know what? This was a good look for the Big Ten. We're not going to punish this team. We like having everyone storm the field at the Big House or at Camp Randall or whatever.
I do think for Badgers or for the Wisconsin Badgers athletic department, it would be the moment where your kid comes home and says, "Hey, Mom, I really need to have this party." Now, maybe not a big banger party, but like a birthday party. Mm-hmm. You're kind of happy at least your kid is cool.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You're going to be upset. You didn't want them to throw some kind of rager and have to have the neighbors call you and say, do you know what little Tommy is doing over at your house? There is a bonfire going out, and I smell something coming from that.
Honey,
marijuana.
It smells like somebody hit a skunk in the front of the yard, but I don't think that's what it is.
It's much smaller than a skunk, and you have to light it on fire.
I don't think that's what it is because I keep hearing them giggling too.
Is it one of those smoke bombs?
No.
They're smoking this thing and it's glass. I don't know exactly what's happening.
When it's homecoming and it's like, oh, they're TPing our house.
Yeah, right. Like you're gonna be a little happy. It's at least your kids got friends.
You're clearing that up, right, Armen?
Yes,
Yes,
I
Dad.
am, Dad. Yeah,
Yes.
and you're gonna be out here with the ladder, pulling it off and throwing it down at me and saying, "Yeah, now you better watch out. We're not doing this again."
But
Secretly, you're like,
once every couple months, my dad asked if I ever found out who egged our house in 25 years ago. Because I guess one time there was an egg. I was like, I've not found out.
No, Dad, the search continues.
I'm like, you moved. We don't even live in that house anymore. You know what I mean?
we got egged one time.
Well, I got it once. Yeah.
Yeah, we got egged one time. It was my dad's fault. He wholeheartedly admitted it. Trick or treat, he started handing out breath mints. We ran out of candy.
Well, wait a minute. At least he tried. What are you supposed to do? Hand out dollars?
Started handing out lifesavers the next morning. There's just 24 eggs just all over the house. He's like, son of a.
This is the guy. This is the guy that gave us butter rum lifesavers. Butter rum.
Didn't even give us Werther's Originals. I got a spearmint lifesaver. Yeah, get out of here.
All right, what were we talking? I'm sorry.
I actually don't know, but I do like Red Hot Tim Knott's text. Armen, if your mechanic is trying to look at your Johnson rod, you need to find a new mechanic.
I want you to just bend over real quick.
Listen, I don't know.
Oh, not the car, you.
No.
I just made it. I just don't know.
All right, cough twice, and we're going to see if the Johnson rod is still.
That's a different type of service provider.
And Jess Man said 60% of the time works every time.
Every time.
They
That's
actually
what it was.
made Sex Panther an actual cologne after.
There's a marketing thing
100%.
there. And speaking of marketing opportunities, that's what
bottle is sweet looking, Jess Man.
I haven't seen it. That's what storming the field and courts are all about. Like teams, a lot of programs secretly love it because they can market their program this way. If they were like so ashamed of it happening and didn't want the fine, why is it on all the recruiting material? Why is it on like come to school here?
Yeah.
Look at our great moments. I mean, I would go in the Al McGuire Center and the picture of us storming the court against Cincinnati was like the main front and center. Dwayne Wade with his hand in the air.
Do you know exactly where you are in there too? Have you been able to kind of piece together and think where you are?
When we stormed the court, I was in the midst of it somewhere, but I'm so short you can never see me in any of the pictures. Yeah. I do remember I was hugging a player because it was like a bunch of people. And it was Scott Merritt, maybe real sweaty.
Good one,
real
yes.
sweaty. And my head is
Scott Merritt, good grinder.
He was a pretty good player that year, and he was a good big man, big time local recruit from Tosa East at the time. Crean's first recruit. He's a 7-footer, or 6'11", 6'10". And it's like when you hug a guy like that,
his belly button.
It's like when I give Butch a big hug. I mean, that's basically where I'm at. It's just the reality.
It's the little kid in like the movies where he gets signed up for dance lessons with mom's like, you're gonna do ballroom dance lessons.
Aww.
And all of a sudden he's hugging and doing things like, I love this.
The girl's taller.
He's like coming up to his.
I get it.
Just above the navel, 877-794-1973.
But they market it. They market these things for the program. So you're not going to tell me it's not worth the money.
Our friend Isaac Miller, who was in here, the young man playing at Catholic Memorial, the edge rusher.
Iron Jock athlete.
Look at his go look at his Instagram or his Twitter or X. Sorry,
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now.
People are mad at us for not calling it X. His X account.
Yeah. Are they? Man.
He's one of the recruits for the second consecutive game. Taking their shirt off, waving their shirts around in the fourth quarter. That's probably a good recruiting tactic. Now, if any of those guys end up coming and being great Big Ten players, that makes it even better. But listen, there's a lot worse things that you could be doing. You could be starting J.J. McCarthy as your starting quarterback like the Minnesota Vikings have.
That's true. You really
could. A lot worse lots in life than you could be having than realizing and feeling like you had to storm the field after a win against Illinois.
I did think about that situation with the storm of the field and so a few games before, the excitement was all the dudes waving their shirts in the top of the stands. Yeah. That was like the internet trend.
Mm-hmm.
And so to your point, you now get the indication how well you're doing. But if the kids are moving down toward the field or moving up to do the shirt waving because they're down 37-0.
I like it better going down.
Yeah, it's better.
I like it better going down. It's a good inverse. I like that market correction.
It is interesting. Are we still doing that, by the way? Is that shirt off thing?
I haven't seen it as much.
Yeah.
Andy, you're in with the kids these days.
Andy.
Are they still doing that?
What?
Where the kids are taking their shirts off and waving.
Standing up at the top of the stands doing the wave.
Literally no clue.
Okay.
All
I think
right.
a kid from Oklahoma State started that when they were getting absolutely clapped.
Yeah, I've seen that since that moment. But
Badgers kids did it against the Iowa
It's
game.
good,
it was
clean fun.
Good
you know?
fun.
It's
Good,
like the
wholesome
6-7 thing. It's good, clean fun.
Jeff in the 920. This is not good, clean fun. He goes, greetings.
Hello.
Appreciate when you started off with greetings. That means that we're going to get down to business,
A
Jeff.
real business type call.
Greetings.
A text.
Never believed in rigged NFL games.
Here we go. Everybody
But-
buckle up. Everybody buckle up.
But my mind changed after that Detroit game. Number one, why not kick the field goal? Number two, win the coin toss and start the overtime, and you defer. Keep up the good work, Jeff.
People talking about the Giants not kicking.
They're talking about the Giants not kicking the field goal with I think there was less than 2 minutes to go. I think it was inside of 2 minutes to go. I'm not positive.
you're trying to
We were all
clinch.
watching it late. But you then have the opportunity that they have to score a touchdown, and that's the only way they can beat you.
I get
They
it.
can't kick a field goal, go to overtime, and beat you in overtime.
But it's a measured risk. It's like going for it on fourth down. You're doing it for the big prize of winning the game, right?
I'll tell you this, and it's completely different than what Packers fans were upset about yesterday, saying Matt LaFleur needs to step on somebody's throat and finish a game. There is a measured risk there, Armen. There's also sometimes a blatant disregard for points.
I agree. Yes.
A blatant disregard for points and possessions it takes to win a football game. Like yesterday's, Matt LaFleur trying to get the 3-score lead. The first time not throwing the ball when you're up 17-6, it's 3rd and 3. I think we're at the 14. That one I'd be more upset with than you're up 20-6. We got to make sure we kick this field goal and win the game and go up 3 scores, game's over at that point. This one, I think Kafka watched Brian Daboll kick a field goal on the half-yard line to go up 10 against the Bears legitimately 3 weeks ago. Caleb Williams and the Bears scored 2 touchdowns in the span of 6 minutes, and his ass get fired the next day.
Well, okay, that's fair.
So I think that's why he didn't kick the field goal. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
I'm going to say this, and I'm just reality of it. Super Bowl 45, the Packers making their final drive, up 3, 3rd and goal. Yep. I loudly opined to the group I was at now. I loudly asked aloud, should we go for it twice here and try and clinch it? I mean, you trust Aaron Rodgers' goal to go on 3rd or 4th to get one of those two to clinch the game? Because you go up 2 scores then. Didn't do it, but I thought this might be a good move here. It might be worth the risk. So, I don't know. Just something to think about. I'm glad it turned out how it did, so.
Super Bowl 45.
Yeah.
Not as much yesterday.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
The number 2 one, win the toss in overtime and you defer. That's a thing. We're learning how teams are going to handle the overtime. That's what everybody's been doing in overtime, is taking the football second, because you want to see what you need to do to then win the game, because both teams are going to get the ball. Again, I will hear both sides. I need to see it play out then for more than just a year. We've literally seen 10 overtime games with this rule. That's the way people are attacking it now. We'll see if it changes. But great questions, Jeff. And thank you for the kind words. And thank you for listening to No BS. Thanks for being a part of the program all day long. We're not done yet. Before D&D fires up, it's No BS on the game.
Want to watch No BS?
We'll do anything it takes.
They're live on YouTube, Facebook, and X right now.
We have a place for it.
Just search 97.3 The Game. The Packers beat the Vikings at Lambeau.
All 3 phases contributed to that win.
Safeties are high, soft coverage. Slot right, slot left. Snap McCarthy backpedal to the end zone. Under pressure. He's hit and sacked. Back at the 1 yard line. Wow. Devontae Wyatt. Yes.
Billy and Armen are basking in the glow of a border battle win all morning with you right here on The Game.
I've won the championship. They haven't.
iHeartRadio. Soundtrack. Flashback.
The coolest secret agent in the world with equally cool soundtracks. Shirley Bassey gave us the theme to 1971's Goldfinger with Diamonds Are Forever.
Diamonds are forever. They are all I need to please me. They can
Stimulate to tease me. For more great movie soundtrack hits, check out Popcorn Radio on the iHeartRadio app.
And Durbin drills one into center field. That's got a chance. And Durbin sends it out. 2-run home run for Caleb Durbin. Brewers jump in front 4-2. And Collins in the air to left field. That ball's hit well. Isaac Collins, stay hot. A 3-run home run. The count. Suzuki on the ground, got a chance here. Out at second. Throw to first in time and a double play. Ball game. Trevor McGill endures all of it. Leaves Pete Crow Armstrong on deck.
Any carry now could be for the record. Bollinger under his center. Casey Robach takes. Gives it to Dane. Straight ahead. Dane across the 20. He's to the 25. Cuts right. Dane to the 30. 35. Dane across the 40. Dane across the 45-yard line. And there it is. Ron Dane has become the NCAA's all-time career rushing leader.
It's about the time she walked away from me. Nobody likes you when you're 23. And you still act like you're in freshman year. What the hell is wrong with me? My friends say I should have my age. What's my age? That's about the time that she broke up with me. No one should take themselves so seriously. With many years ahead to fall in line. Why would you wish down on me? I never want to act my age. What's my age again? What's my age again? What's my age again?
Talk to me about no Kyle Kuzma.
The faceoff will involve Brian Strudland and Wayne Primo. The bangers are out there for both teams up front.
Craig Ludwig let a shot go from the point. It found its way through Hasek. For Ludwig, the first playoff goal in 11 years of Stanley Cup play.
Look at Primo stick down. Now Struthen times it, wins and draws through traffic. A little deflection and it's gone. 2-1 Dallas.
Said you can have whatever you like. Yeah, baby, I can treat you so special, so nice.
Armen, I got a question for you. 877-794-1973. I did not hand raise an air, and I know you didn't either because you were being the executive producer of the Packers Radio Network.
Yep.
That does not allow you, it prohibits, some would say, from you watching and consuming the Packers game on broadcast television.
Like I watch it obviously with the sound off, but there's no literal way I can do my job if the sound's on, right?
So yesterday seems like there were positive and negative responses to one Greg Olson and his work on the broadcast. And I asked you during the break, I'm like, is there a bigger face right now wrestling term face. Good guy. Unanimously loved. Everybody backing from the Tom Brady, knocking him from the number one chair.
Yep.
Does the youth sports podcast. He's on all these different podcasts. He'll go on the Barstool show.
His Q rating's very high, right?
Through the roof.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
There's somebody in broadcasting with a higher overall Q rating right now than Greg Olsen, because yesterday that was the first time I heard anybody have like any really like questions or like little bits of frustration with Greg Olsen. And again, there were some on the other side saying like, thank God Greg Olsen is calling out Matt LaFleur for not trying to end the game here and throw the football into the end zone.
I think as analysts, yeah. I think Brian Anderson, Kevin Harlan, those guys obviously will have a very high Q. But I'm talking about just the analysts, the foreign players. Yeah, because he didn't get the job and things like that. People seem to like him a lot. He's everyone's favorite guy. I think Romo his first year had that. But obviously that's worn off with Tony Romo for a lot of people. Not a lot of people have that problem.
Yep.
So Olsen has had that. He's maintained it. But this is how it goes in sports with athletes, and now we're doing it with our broadcasters. We like to build them up, and then we like to break them down. So will Olsen be on that trajectory now, going up, and then people will start getting annoyed with him just because he exists? It's like Buck and Aikman, right? They're really good, but people don't like him for one reason or another. Will that happen to Greg Olsen? Because I heard some fans like, as he gets more popular, he has probably more of a little bit of confidence, bravado to pump his chest out and be more outspoken, more opinionated. Maybe, Billy, that's a natural thing to say. I feel more comfortable now taking some maybe more, not controversial, but more opinions and say, hey, why aren't they calling these plays? Why is Matt LaFleur keep trying to run the ball? What's really going on here? Like, I don't really understand it. And then when you start doing stuff like that, then that's when people start getting annoyed a little bit, right?
Yeah, like that's what Just Man said. Greg Olsen's great. He knows the game. People were just frustrated because he was critiquing Matt LaFleur. I think there were more people that were happy that he was critiquing Matt LaFleur.
Well, so one or the other.
Right. It was either yin or yang.
Yeah.
So I also think that's an impressive thing of his broadcasting that Olsen has kind of locked in or tapped into, and you hit it right there. He can give you a little bit of opinion in the quick 14, 15 seconds that he's breaking down the play. Obviously, you have to give your analysis, but he squeezes in a little bit of his own opinion and how he feels about the take and about the play and about the decisions. I think he's phenomenal. Like, I think he's the best, just pure analyst from the game in front. What are we seeing? He also is as close to the blend of super ability to go deep down analytics and dig down deep with a little bit of the charm in the I love football of John Madden. Now, Greg Olsen's not going to come out here with a boom, tough acting to acting.
Right.
But what he is going to say
That's great.
is like, you can tell he loves the game.
Sure. Yeah.
And when the game is good, you can hear it in his voice of how excited he is to be in the stands. That's what I do appreciate of Tony Romo. I think he's a phenomenal broadcaster. No. I love the excitement.
The excitement of it.
We're
right?
excited to watch sports. This is entertainment. You can be entertained while entertaining us on the broadcast and being informative. So Olsen, I think, is phenomenal. I don't know that anybody right now has a higher Q rating. And also it's pretty impressive because he's not either of the top two things you got to be an analyst in the NFL. Quarterback or a cowboy.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you meant like good looking and a former. I didn't know where you were going with.
Quarterback or a cowboy.
Sure.
Like those are the easiest ways to get into the booth. And maybe just because Jason Witten was maybe the worst broadcaster we had ever heard.
Worst.
Maybe that's why the Cowboys started backing up a little bit. But for the longest time, that was the only way that you were getting on TV.
I think it helps that Greg Olsen, being a former tight end, is able to understand offensive line play and then
Like a
subsequently
catcher, yeah.
defensive line play. But also he split out as a receiver, understands the pass game. He understands where fits are supposed to be for defensive players.
Gets all of it, yeah.
I mean, seriously, besides throwing the football, which he probably played quarterback growing up, he knows everything. Literally everything in football.
How much is there a tendency, though, to really, like, while you're broadcasting that position, let people know I'm still smarter than the coaches on the field? I'm not saying he's doing that, but I think there's always a little instinct and bias when these guys want to make it sound like, Angels in the Outfield, the movie. Ranch Wilder was the broadcaster. He wanted to be the manager. Obviously, that's a Disney movie, but you get my point. There's a little bit of that might rub people the wrong way. Like,
well, I mean, Greg Olsen is a football coach.
That's the thing.
Now, granted, I think 7th and 8th grade football.
Oh, it's still ball.
However,
trying to win.
the coaching staff is him, Luke Kuechly, and Jonathan Stewart.
Charlotte-based team, I would assume.
Yeah, like a Charlotte Catholic, kind of like a university school deal where like I think it's K through 12.
Yeah, no recruiting going on there.
They also work underneath a varsity football coach. Could you imagine being that varsity coach being like, hey, Greg Olson and Luke Kuechly, one's a Hall of Famer, one possibly could be. I'm going to tell you guys about football. I'm going to tell you how we run football. Okay? You guys sit back and listen. I'll tell you because I know football.
Yeah.
That's an interesting place to
All
be.
that being said, I'm pretty sure what Matt LaFleur did worked yesterday.
I think it worked
final score
very well.
Yeah.
And most importantly, we'll see how it works on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because that was the strategy the Packers implemented late in the game yesterday, was build up for Thanksgiving. So we flipped to a different poultry after a Victory Chicken Monday. Thanks to Wayne Larrabee for joining us. Thanks to all